That sounded like a shot.
2 mortgage payments.
A shot? What do you mean?
I have no idea.
I said testing, and Anthony said,
Okay, we're up.
Need a new roof? Go with a sure thing. excelroofing.com.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation with Michael Brown.
All right, here we go. 10 seconds on break show, gentlemen.
Okay.
Thanks.
Quote, white liberal Hillary Clinton supporter that they should worry about. Ouch.
Got a full board this morning, Tom.
It's the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. This hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran is there to help you sell properties. By the way, he is doing free market analysis now for your property to tell you where you are and what status. And by the way, the real estate market is still brisk. We've checked in with him, and we do weekly. Things are selling. And they're selling at a rapid rate and multiple offers still. So we do know there's a dichotomy here. We have some people doing very well, other people not. But there seems to be no lag in the real estate industry, at least not yet. Call Frank for any information you need on buying or selling. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. We've been talking a lot about business, and we'll check in from time to time with businesses all over to see how they're doing. But I need to get to these calls quickly, and then I'd like to talk about anything else you want to talk about. Again, you know, this show doesn't get political, but if you want to express anything about recent events, this is the place to do it. Of course, we basically solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and help people any way we can. And that's where we kind of stem the tides and build bridges because, you know, for us, we just help everyone. Now, Stacy, what's happening? Welcome, Stacy. We have heard a million of these. What is your case, Stacy?
Good morning, Tom. So, long story short, I am getting married this July 11th, and we were planning on just moving the wedding to next summer to be safer for everyone. Went to talk to our venue. They say they are not pushing people into next summer. We can move to a Wednesday in December, which I don't particularly want to do. And they are saying that they will operate under restaurant guidelines. So they will be operating at 50% this summer, so that means we could have 100 people. Something just isn't sitting right with me about that when I've been looking at...
What does your contract say, Stacy? What does your contract say?
Our contract is very binding and definitely in the favor of them. So we cannot get out of the contract.
Well, in other words, if they are willing to put the wedding on and then restrictions were imposed by the government, then it is in their favor. If they were not able to be opened at all, then I would say you have a good chance of canceling this or postponing it. Here's what's funny. You're not asking for your money back. You're just asking to postpone it. How much money do you have with them right now?
We are close to $6,000 with them.
And well, okay. And are they willing to do it, but they want to space it out? You know, and by the way, restaurant rules are not that bad. Obviously, you would have less people depending on the square footage. Whatever their normal capacity is, it would be 50%.
Yes, and that makes sense. But they are only providing the venue. We have an outside caterer that we're working with, but they are just housing the wedding.
Okay, but what does that mean? The outside caterer and everyone else, how do they feel? Are they still doing weddings?
They are, but our caterer is definitely willing to push us to next summer, no penalty. And
what's the name of the venue? What venue is this?
We are at Willow Ridge Manor over here in Morrison, Colorado.
You know, Stacy, this is a tough one because it's not like they're canceled. And it's not like they can't do it. They are doing it. And the restrictions imposed were not imposed by them. So I don't know. We could get a legal opinion on this if you'd like. And let's just do that. Maybe we'll get one of our experts just to talk. Because here's the deal. It might be...
Wait a second.
let me jump in because I've got to agree with her. If she's got 200 people that need to come to their wedding, now they got to cut in half. I don't care what the contract says. This company should do the right thing and either let her out or up the venue or do something else. This is crazy. This is her one day, Tom.
Okay, and Mark, opinion-wise, I agree that these are special times, and we've said this before, that we think businesses should give a little. But that's not what I think she's asking. And she's not asking our opinion. She's saying, is there a way she can get out of it? Or what should we do? Or have other people encounter this?
We can pressure the hell out of them.
Well, here's what we do. Let's call them. But what I'd like to do is get a legal opinion anyway. And then, Stacy, could you send that contract to us?
Yes, I have it right here. I can take a picture and send it to you or scan it however you'd like it.
Yeah. I would, any way we can. I'd also like to get a legal opinion. Again, I'm not saying, hey, go ahead and do it. They shouldn't have to give you money back. What I'm saying is these restrictions they did not impose.
Hey, I want to bring up one thing, okay? We had a certain thing, and you and I disagreed on this, and we're going to go back in time 2 years. We had a reservation at a restaurant. They could not seat all of us. I ended up suing that restaurant. Yes, we settled, but I got exactly what I wanted. I'm telling you, I think when someone says we can accommodate 200, and now they can't, there is an issue here, Tom.
Mark, hold on a sec. That restaurant, though, was a different issue. And I really don't... we can talk about it. I love that topic because I really, really like it. And I think you're absolutely wrong on what you thought about that restaurant. But this case, I was just thinking about... Hold on. Stacy, here's what I was thinking. If it mentions a specific number of people, Mark may have a point with this. If they say we will do this for 200 people, and now the government says you can't, what we have to figure out, and this is why I want a legal opinion, are they breaching the contract, or can they say, we're not breaching because it's not us doing it? Let's get another opinion on this. But as far as that restaurant goes, it's a good topic. And really it came down to this.
And honestly, I love that restaurant, so I'd rather not even use their name anymore.
But it wasn't their fault. I mean, there were a whole bunch of things wrong. But here's the bottom line. It all came down to the issue. I think Mark can agree on the issue we had, and that was Mark believed that when you make a reservation, you indeed have a contract.
And I still believe it.
Well, you don't. A reservation is not a contract unless you pay for the reservation and promises are made and both parties agree. Mark, as far as a contract, you have to have certain elements. That's as far as the law says. Now, as far as Mark says, it's a promise and it's not a contract. But what I'd also like to do, and I don't know if we've ever actually asked anyone, but that is another issue because that may
I'm saying the consideration is different than the monetary. I think we can both agree if we rented a room at Maggiano's, for example, and we gave them a deposit for a room for 50, and all 50 of us showed up, and they couldn't put us in there, they're breaking a contract. Do we agree there?
Yes, if you have a deposit, you've made consideration, there were terms and conditions, and you rented an actual room, absolutely. But a reservation, if you call up and say, I'd like to make a reservation for 10.
30.
Well, it doesn't matter how many. If you make a reservation and they don't take any money, and you don't take it, and you don't give any money, here's why. Just like if you cancel, they can't charge you, unless, of course, that was part of the agreement. And if it's not, then you both part ways. What I'm saying is this. First and foremost, let's remember, they postponed it. I mean, they delayed and delayed. At what point is it a breach? But let's just go one step further.
At what point is a breach? When they said we can't sit all of you at the same table. That's where I started throwing a fit.
Yeah, but they eventually sat us close. But let's just say this. Let's just go one step further and say,
Tom, that's not fair. Mark, they sat you at a different table than the rest of the group and other people.
We were close together, but here's what I'm saying. That doesn't matter for our discussion. For our discussion, let's say they couldn't seat us at all. Let's just say that. So we take all the gray out of it. So if you have a restaurant reservation for 10, 20, 30, 5, it doesn't matter. If you have a reservation, you called up and you have a reservation, is that a contract? It's a simple question.
I say it is.
Okay.
If they acknowledge, let me throw this in.
And
If they
the law
acknowledge
books,
it was a table for 30,
and the law books don't go by what Mark thinks. They goes by what a contract is.
Well, then let's find an attorney.
Okay, that would be good to find out what is
I
a
say
contract.
Marco Bendinelli.
Now, we can ask any attorney. So let's find someone, because when we have someone on, I'd like to ask him about this particular case here.
Yeah, of course.
303-713-TALK. So let's find someone who can answer this, and I'd like more than one opinion. Again, contracts have certain elements. Is it a contract? Now, by the way, another thing is, verbal contracts. Verbal contracts are only enforceable, we know this, first of all, outside of real estate because they're specifically disallowed. But let's say verbal contracts, are they enforceable? The old saying is this: yes, it's enforceable if all parties agree on the terms and conditions. And that always is the problem with a contract to begin with. You know, like, for example, if I said, Mark, you promised to pay me this much money for this, and you say, yes, I did, then it's enforceable. It's a verbal contract. But if you say, no, I never did, then it's up to me to prove that you said that. And it gets really hairy. So, I mean... On hers, real quick, think of this. What happens if it was just going to be her and the groom, and they show up, and now it's 50%, and they're telling you the other party can't even show up? Well, here's the thing, Mark. If we could not make it for some reason, would you expect them to be able to charge us?
If we couldn't make it to the restaurant,
right? Then
yes, I would think. If it was turned around. Go ahead.
Go ahead. If it was turned around, what?
If it was turned around and they were going to sue us.
Yeah.
Because we never showed up.
Right.
And I admitted we said we were going to show up and hold something around their busiest time for 30 people, and I agreed we would all be there, all 30 of us or more or whatever it is.
And what would the damages be?
And if we all agreed, I don't know, maybe their profit off of 30 people or their loss of profit for holding that table for X amount. Now, saying that, if another party of 30 came in and used that room, then they wouldn't have any losses.
Okay, so again, a contract has
We are
damages.
running super late.
Anyway, let's take this quick break. We'll be right back with more.
Are you curious when you should take Social Security? This is Kurt Cambier.
Turn your camera on, Mark. We got a contract. You're breaking a contract.
You have Frank Duran long 30 seconds after Mark finishes.
I understand.
Cambier.com. Securities offered through Cambridge
It doesn't
Investment
matter
Research,
because I won.
broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Cambridge Investment Research Advisor.
Jeff asked, is Aaron Israel attorney-at-law? Is that a good pick for this case?
He's a good attorney. He knows a lot about law.
These are the guys, whether you just need a new faucet installed or maybe an emergency or a house, there's water everywhere, you're starting to flood, maybe you need a full-blown sewer line replacement, maybe a toilet installed. These are the guys that are going to do the job quick, they're going to do it on time, and they're going to do it at a better price than the competition. Free estimates and also no trip charges in the Denver metro area and lots of great discounts. Write this number down. If you own a house, you're going to need a plumber. 720-434-3406. 720-434-3406.
With thousands of...
All right, 30 seconds, Frank Duran long.
Okay, you yackers.
Turn your camera on.
Shut up, yackers. Oh, don't tell me I got to go do it. Now watch this. I'm just going to do it.
Here, I'll do it there.
I'm going to do it for you.
So-
You know what? I'm starting to learn you don't know how to click.
10 seconds,
So-
Frank Duran long. Here we go.
So I just did it again. Okay, you just turned it on. You didn't have it on. I know. No, you did not. No, you did not.
As a matter of fact, it was turned on.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. You call him if you want to sell, if you want to buy. And by the way, he doesn't hold you to a long-term contract because he knows that, if you're not happy, it would be terrible to do that. But no one ever asks to get out of the contract. But here's the point. He doesn't have to keep you bound. He knows that he's going to do the best for you. And this guy sells for more money and quicker than most others, and he has the stats to prove it. And this guy is not just the guy. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, has a team of experts. They keep you on time when it comes to contract deadlines. They help you any way they can. And you will feel coddled through this entire transaction. Not only that, but he assures you that he's going to look out for your rights, get you the most money in the shortest amount of time. Now, if you're looking to buy, he looks to get you the greatest deals. He finds those properties quickly and negotiates the best prices. It's amazing what they do. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Are stress,
Right, you're clear.
social isolation during this COVID-19 pandemic triggering your drug and alcohol use? American Addiction Centers can help.
Leave it on at night.
Locations near you, ready to help. Call 855.
Are you kidding?
0986.
Why wouldn't you?
855.
What's that?
Leave that camera on so
Call is free and confidential.
See, I'm reading right here. It says, I agree with Mark. A reservation is a binding contract consisting of mutual promises.
To fit your needs, we can accept both.
The restaurant agrees to provide accommodations, and the client agrees to pay.
that is not that you're reading the whole.
You know what?
You're reading the hotel.
I'm telling you, long as both parties admit everything, it's a fucking contract.
Well, Mark, that's exactly what I just said. That's exactly right on an oral contract. Don't twist it now. That's not what you said. What if they don't agree?
No, but in the thing with Perry's, they agreed to seat all of us at the same table.
Yeah, but what if they say, well, we didn't really guarantee it. We said we'll try. What if they say that, Mark? That's what I'm getting at. You can't fucking hold them to any term that they don't agree to.
That's right, but my whole point is they did acknowledge it.
Oh, I guarantee you that if it went to court, they would say, everyone knows when they make a contract, we're going to say this, and we do this, and we do that. You think everything is agreed to. That's the whole point. If everything is agreed to, of course, including damages.
Too difficult? Then try Battle. Battle starts by teaching you words.
Did you agree to pay them?
Complex. Soon,
No,
you're practicing
but I agreed to show up with 30 people and spend money with them, so yes, I guess in a way we did.
Battle is built to
Whether or not I would acknowledge that in court is not the question.
I'm looking at opinions here, and there's as many as one as there are the other. It's equally split as to people thinking it is and people thinking it isn't. I'm trying to look at court precedent.
And that's what you read.
What's that?
He read the hotel one.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at a hotel.
I know that's what he read.
Yeah, but
though,
the
and he
hotel
put-
is a commodity, a room that,
Right,
yeah.
right.
It's a room that they can't. It's a room that they didn't fill. This restaurant. Yeah, it is, Mark, because they obviously could fill it. And first of all, okay, then look at yours. If you can't sit there, are you saying there are no other restaurants?
Or she eats seats.
So if you're looking
See,
for one
okay,
trusted
I
source
don't know what to tell you. Yes, it's a contract. I don't even know who we call though. I say Marco because he's one of the only people that won't say, well, it's competitive.
info on loans, grants.
I looked up. We don't have anybody that does contract law.
Yeah, but Aaron Israels does. If he wants to come on, Aaron does it.
Do we have anybody that does restaurant litigation?
I don't know.
/small business.
This report is sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm looking at this. Is a restaurant.
That's bullshit on the wedding though. Oh, man.
Most of these have to do with hotels or
You go back to
venues.
people and say, oh, sorry, you didn't make the cut.
These are challenging times, and Rocket Mortgage.
All right, back in 10 seconds. Here we go.
Hell, if you need mortgage assistance.
A room reservation, they talk about that all the time. Whenever I look this stupid thing up.
Hey, Espinoza's on your case again, Mark.
Oh, he's always on my case, brother. I love him.
You.
He's my baby.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, let's move on. I want to talk to Jamie Baumgarten, and he is with Panacea Life Sciences for CBD. I want to check in. Now, I know that Panacea Life Sciences, they do CBD products. What I'd like to know about sales, if people, has the pandemic affected them in any way, and what's going on that end, and what are people buying? Jamie, let's talk.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Good, Jamie. I'd like to know, first of all, we've had questions on CBD, but in general, are sales the same? Are they when I say the same, as it would be with any time this month, or are they off a little, or are they increased a little?
Overall, they've decreased by about 15 to 20%. And part of this has to do with availability at in-person stores. We have seen an uptick of online sales.
Okay.
As people are still realizing the benefits of these natural products.
Now, one person emailed me and said, Tom, you talked about immuno-boosting properties. And again, I want to make it clear, we're not saying you're not going to get this or you're not going to get that if you're taking it. But no, we never say that. However, it does have immuno-boosting properties. Why? And has that ever been tested?
Well, yeah, it's a great question, and the answer is complicated. But I'll try and get this down to be fairly short.
Yeah.
Effectively, what CBD does, it's an anti-inflammatory, okay, but it's a selective anti-inflammatory. So your immune system has a number of different cells and a number of different proteins that are secreted to effectively combat infections like COVID or flu or the cold.
Or anything, right.
Common cold. Right. And so what we're seeing with CBD is that it selectively down-regulates the cytokine storm that you hear about, especially in children with this COVID infection. And it leaves the rest of the immune system intact to fight off the cold or the COVID or the flu. Okay. So it helps regulate to make sure that the immune system does not overreact. And it does prime the immune system so that it is able to effectively go to the site of injury. Now, the other thing that CBD actually does that we talked about before is that it does have antimicrobial properties. So when you think about when you get a common cold and that develops into strep throat, that's what we call a secondary infection. So CBD products will help to prevent that secondary infection and also alleviate the aches and pains that go with the flu or a viral infection.
Okay, so in essence, though, if it's an anti-inflammatory systemically as well, like if you take it, I just want to take a leap. And again, we're not prescribing this for anything or making any claims. I'm asking about the science. If it is an anti-inflammatory, then by reason, a high cholesterol is a reaction to inflammation. Cholesterol is a healing agent that goes to your arteries, and contrary to what people think, it's actually meant to heal you and to help where there is inflammation and scar and damage to your blood vessels. So that's what builds up cholesterol. And it's what I'd like to know is then if you do away with the inflammation, does that in essence help lower cholesterol? Have there been any studies?
No, not today.
Okay.
So when you think about a lot of human diseases, a lot of these are actually have inflammation as an underlying condition, and this could be from spraining your ankle.
Yeah, about 80% of your diseases first start with inflammation.
Inflammation.
Yeah.
Right. Alzheimer's disease is actually an inflammatory disorder.
And when we talk about inflammation, we're not talking about a finger swells up or a wrist, although that is inflammation. We're talking about systemic inflammation, where you are just basically swollen. And
yeah, I mean, so your body responds to injury by having inflammatory cells go to that site of injury. So if it's in your blood vessels, your endothelial cells, like you're talking about with heart disease, what happens is you get an abnormal response. And so what cannabinoids actually do is dampen that response so your body can work more efficiently and more effectively. And I know that sounds fairly soft, but there's a number of scientific studies that actually have taken a look at inflammatory processes and shown the benefit of cannabinoids to actually treat those processes.
Okay, so another thing, aspirin's an anti-inflammatory. There are other anti-inflammatories, but then you have the side effect of going through your liver and damaging the liver or kidneys. So again, that's where CBD is beneficial. It doesn't have the damage component. But here's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions at all on CBD, real deal, not to try to sell product, but real honest opinion, like if you want to know if it's good for something or not, or what your experience has been, please call, because Jamie is a scientist and I believe a PhD, and he knows a lot about the science part. Panacea Life Sciences, of course, is the one that he works with, and it's realcbdthatworks.com. So that's what we'd like to do if you have any questions. Meanwhile, Catherine wants to talk about dryer vents and cleaning and it being being damaged and what's the responsibility. Kent wants to talk about garage leveling. This is a follow-up we talked about in the beginning. He has a follow-up. We talked about garage leveling the floor. Irene wants to talk about what to do after being fired if she's not paid commission. Now, that all has to do with a labor contract. Then we have Aaron Israel's an attorney looking at the contract for that woman and her wedding venue, and whether or not they can just say, hey, we're still having it, but you have to have less people, and like it or leave it. So we'll talk about all of that and more coming up.
Clear.
About 1 minute until your Mile High State
Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown at 2, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Listen, when do I have my spot?
Right after traffic.
Are we going to do both?
This report is
Yeah, I can do both.
Good.
Travel around the metro area freeway system in really good shape right now. No stalls or accidents being reported on or off the highways across town. Earlier rollover crash northbound I-25 there approaching Colorado Boulevard. Long's been cleared out of the way. No delays on that stretch. In fact, I-25 and I-70 wide open through town. Up in the foothills, watch out for construction in the left lane. Westbound I-70 at Fall River Road, seeing a little bit of backup on that stretch. So travel
30 seconds to Mile High State and Baker.
Sunny today, slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms with a high near 89. Right now, mostly cloudy skies in the high city, and it's 79. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Lowe's is working harder than ever to help pros get the...
All right, here we go, 10 seconds.
Associates who only serve pros. They stock the top-rated brands you need, offer curbside loading, and can even deliver right to the job site. Service like that is why Lowe's is the new home for pros.
You know, I want to mention something about estate planning. Don't, if you're one of those that just, your eyes just roll, don't. And I'll tell you why. It's not just for rich people. I mean, if you have an estate with just a net worth of $100,000 or more, you probably need estate planning more than anyone to protect your assets and protect your legacy. What that means is this. You may want to have medical directives. You may want to have something done when you get sick, or you may want to protect yourself from a lawsuit, especially. I mean, really rich people can defend lawsuits. And if you don't have a lot of money, you'd like to protect your assets. There are all kinds of things you can do with an estate plan. They don't have to be expensive. They don't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as a will. It can go into trusts. And then you can have prenups or postnups. And all kinds of documentations like powers of attorney and other things. Check out Mile High Estate Planning and Blake Harris for more. 720-924-6171. MileHighEstatePlanning.com. You know, one thing I've been talking about is safe investing. Now, here's the deal. Become the Banker has proven during this pandemic to be safe and stable and secure. Why? Everyone who has done this strategy of overfunding life insurance for a tax-free growth account has found they haven't lost 1 penny. They're getting the guaranteed 4% plus the 1% dividend, and they will continue to get it. If you would like to learn more about Become the Banker, just check and make an appointment for your own webinar or appointment. It's 303-779-6600, or simply go to this, becomethebanker.org.
All right, you're good.
Hello, this is Denright Home Improvement.
Hi, Dad. Can I talk to Todd, please?
Sure, Dad. Hold on just a moment.
Okay, let's see.
Hey, Todd, Dad. Since 1985, when you were
You need to get a lawyer on.
Does anyone remember the garage leveling one?
Does anybody remember what?
The garage leveling thing, there's a follow on there.
So isn't it about time we fired
Garage leveling.
Garage leveling, he's calling.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a guy on there, Kent. Follow up on garage leveling. I'm just wondering if it rang a bell.
It must be someone we sent to Cracker Jack, I would guess. I don't know.
I just don't remember one.
I don't either. Me neither. And I usually remember everything. My mind's like a steel trap.
Always shut.
All-time lowest interest rates. You can still buy or refi with Ideal Home Loans. Safely, remotely, securely, locally owned and operated. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I don't take my recommendations lightly. Brent Ivinson started Ideal in Colorado just about 20 years ago, and he's more committed than ever to doing loans at the lowest rates and costs in the market.
Gentlemen, I have got the manufacturer of my roof and Jay out here at 1 o'clock, so pretty much count me gone unless we're having phone issues at 1.
So, Mark, what is going on with that roof?
Holy shit, man. You remember when you were a kid? Well, maybe, yeah, I bet they were out. You remember Shrinky Dinks?
No. What are they?
They're these plastic things you would cut out, then your mom would put them in the oven, and they would fucking shrink.
What?
Yeah, it was like a toy back in the day. You'd go to fucking KD Toys and buy them. But anyhow, it's like the roof has shrunk. It's got to be the product, but the manufacturer's coming out.
Wow.
It's like cold water. It's like jumping in.
I'm going to send Dan a picture. Hold on.
What, it's like shrink wrap?
Actually, I'll send it to both of you.
It's like jumping in a cold pool. It shrink like a scared turtle.
It really is fucking. It's the craziest shit.
This exceptional government price. Call 1-800-937-4707. Call now.
You know, in Quora and stuff.
I'll tell you what, that's why you use a fucking roofer that's been around a while and shit, especially when you're doing a new product like I did.
Well, how do you know it shrunk? I mean, it shrunk that much so you could see it? Okay.
I don't know that it shrunk. I definitely know it's expanding and contracting to the point where it's nuts.
Do you hear it or what?
No, you don't hear it. That's an interesting question.
Patient assistance programs and medicine costs. In 3 quick steps, learn how
And the reason I say that, if it shrinks enough, it could actually pull and you get creaking.
No, but it's not. Hold on.
All right, gentlemen, 10 seconds. We're back.
10 seconds, I'm putting you on mute.
ExcelRoofing.com, 303-761-6400.
I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors for you. One Clear Choice Doors. You can get an inspection of your complete door. If you're moving into a place and they'll go through the whole thing, it's just $80 from top to bottom. Hinge bolt tightening, they'll check out the cables, they'll lubricate, and they'll tell you exactly what you need. You know, if you need a new garage door opener, they have the latest and the greatest, including the Sidewinder. Look for OneClearChoiceDoors.com. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. They're great people, and I use them, and they're also available for emergencies like a broken spring. 24/7, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. All right, so listen, we have CBD products. Panacea Life Sciences standing by for any questions you might have. And then we're talking about all kinds of problems, questions, and complaints, including this one. Irene, you say you were fired, and you did not get paid your commissions. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, Irene, were you also making a wage of any kind?
Yes.
A W-2?
Yes.
And were you paid that?
No, nothing was available the day that I was fired.
No, but what I mean is the day you're fired, they're supposed to pay you within a certain amount of time. Did you ever get paid your W-2 payment?
Yes.
Okay. The only thing they're refusing is the stuff you've earned on commission. Now, were they for sales you made in the recent history, or were they for sales that are going to close after you left?
The way it was explained to me, they are sales that were going to be closed after I left.
Yeah. And many places, now I don't know if you have an employment agreement, but many places have employment agreements that say just because you make a sale doesn't mean you collect a commission if you're not there to close it. And some go so far as to say you have to be currently working because they want you to have this relationship. And they don't just want to pay you like a finder's fee, for example. I don't know what your terms and conditions were. You'd have to go by what they've done with others to establish a pattern if you don't have something in writing. But Irene, what is the nature of the sale? What were you selling?
It's earth-moving equipment.
Okay, like an excavator?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's say you sell a backhoe or an excavator, right? And when you say you sold it, what do you mean you sold it?
You sell it to companies that work with us that need.
So the company says, I want a bulldozer, or I want this, or I want that. What do? Did you take a deposit and sign a contract?
Yes.
You did? An actual deposit, right? And a contract?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then
agree on a delivery date and everything.
And the closing and delivery was set for the future. Is that right?
Yes, but the future, yes, but it's already a date that has passed.
I understand that, but it was a date after you had left, right?
No. These are all things that I did prior.
I understand that, Irene. Here's what I'm asking. The final delivery and sale, what they call the closing or the final transaction, not just delivery. Delivery I'm not talking about. But if they only put down a deposit and they were going to get financing or make final payment, was that actual final transaction done after you left?
No.
Everything was done while you were there?
Correct.
Okay, then you told me just the opposite about 3 minutes ago. But so the only thing that hadn't occurred was the delivery?
Correct.
Okay, well then I would think they'd owe it to you. Why are they not paying you?
I was told that commissions were paid on the last day of each month.
Yes.
And I was fired on the 17th of May. I should have expected it on the 31st of May.
Oh, we've had these calls a lot, Tom.
Yeah, so Irene, did they pay you on the 31st of May?
No.
What did they say? And I guess let's get down to this. Are they saying that they acknowledge they owe you the money and they just haven't paid it yet? Or are they saying you're not due the commission?
No, they've acknowledged it.
Well, then that's good, because that's the biggest battle. So they're not saying you're not entitled to it. They're saying, oh, yeah, checks in the mail, or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that should be easier to deal with. I mean, is it possible they're telling the truth and you will get paid? What makes you think you're not going to get paid? I mean, my goodness, it was only a few days ago.
Well, it was a few days ago, but they had 2 weeks to get it prepared. They had the time.
Irene, I understand
to
that.
Deposit it.
Irene,
you know.
Did you usually get direct deposit?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying it's odd because it should have been direct deposited that day.
Correct.
Okay. So what do they say about that, by the way? Do they say, oh, don't worry, we're going to get it to you? That would be good if they still say they owe you. What I would hate for them to do is say, you know what, come to think of it, we don't owe you. So what are they saying?
They're saying that it should be there anytime.
Well, that's better. You understand why I say it's better than them saying they don't owe you, because you don't have to prove they owe you at this point. What I'd like to do is get someone to acknowledge that to one of us and have maybe Deputy Doc call. What's the name of the company? Irene?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure of the name of the company?
I'm not sure how far I want to go with this.
Okay, so you let us know, and then I certainly don't want to do anything to hurt you. So what do you want to do?
I was just wondering what the legality was of them not paying me.
Well, if they acknowledge they owe you the money, they have to pay you. I mean, that's
if they terminate you. If they terminate you, technically they're supposed to pay you within 48 hours. Is that what you're asking?
What I told them.
That was that's for W-2, Mark. I'm not sure. It might include commissions. Again, I'm saying I'm not sure
either.
What's that?
I'm not sure either on the commission.
I don't know if that's in a different category.
That's why I called.
What's that?
Yes. I'm not sure either. That's why I called.
But here's the bottom line. We're going to find out. And here's what I do believe, Irene. I believe no matter what, it's been longer than that anyway, so what difference does it make? I mean, you know, it's because here's the rule. It's either within 48 hours or at the next scheduled payout, payroll, like if you quit. But here's the deal. No matter what, both of those have passed, so you should be paid one way or the other. And so here's what I'm asking you. What do you want us to do? We would be happy to call them and say, listen, we have a serious inquiry, and before we start giving her some legal advice through through our attorneys, we'd like to know if you plan on paying her. Sometimes that call will get action. Do you want that call or do you want to wait?
I would like to wait and call them again.
All right, you do that and tell them that you can sue for treble damages, I believe. I'm not sure if that includes commissions, but I know for unpaid compensation, I thought it was once you make the demand, you can sue for triple damage. And how much does this commission come to in all?
$22,000.
My goodness gracious. Okay, so Irene, leave your information with Daphne so it rings a bell when you call us back. Take a shot at it and let us know how you do. I'm Tom Martino. What happens when you have a garage that needs leveling or a basement? I don't know what this problem was, but Ken, just start. What was the original problem you called about? There was somebody charging you to raise it. What was the problem?
Well, yeah, my father is 79 years old. He had called Complete Basement Systems wanting to get his garage floor leveled and taken care of. So he did, they gave him what I call a sales pitch. They told him that his foundation was settling. He needed all kinds of repairs.
Right.
Got him to believe that he needed the back of his house was going to fall off. Wrote him an estimate or a bill or not a bill, but a price of $20,459.
Yeah.
They talked him into giving him a half down on it, and then they weren't going to do the work until earlier in the year, and he's got such a mess. There's no way they could even get to it.
But Ken, I want to ask some quick questions, okay? How do you know he doesn't need what they said?
Okay, so that's where I called you.
Yeah.
I called you on the 5th. You said,
right.
Get me a second opinion.
Good. Hold on, and we'll come right back to this. I don't want to go overtime. I'm Tom Martino. Let's find out what happened here on this deal. This is really important for people looking at real estate or having the same problem.
All right, you're clear. QC Manufacturing coming up after traffic, or QC Manufacturing and Duct Pros.
Well, it sounds like she is going to get paid. Man, that was a hell of a big piece of equipment to get $20,000 equipment.
Well, it may not be just one.
Yeah.
Well, if you had to lift the base, if he was doing structural stuff, that's not a bad price. But if it was just lifting,
we're talking about a commission.
Oh, commission.
Yeah, I was going to say, small claims court, but not for $22K.
No delays on that stretch. In fact, I-25 and I-70 wide open through town. Up in the foothills, watch out for construction in the left lane. Westbound I-70 at Fall River Road, seeing a little bit of backup on
I want delivery.
Travel through there with car.
15 seconds, QC Manufacturing and Duct Pros.
Of afternoon thunderstorms with a high near 89. Right now, mostly cloudy skies in the Mile High City, and it's 79. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
Lowe's is working harder than ever to help pros get the job.
10 seconds, QC Manufacturing Duct Pros, here we go.
Curb Pros. They stock the top-rated brands you need, offer curbside loading, and can even deliver right to the job site. Service like that is why Lowe's is the new home for pros.
You know, I walked in my home and it was like 80 degrees, right? I turned on the whole house fan, the quiet, cool whole house fan, and within minutes the temperatures dropped 4 or 5, 6 degrees. Then I turned on the air. All the hot air was sucked out or blown out, and the cool air was circulated. It helps my air conditioner work less. I estimate I'm saving about 90% on air conditioning. Really, I hardly ever run it. And I use the Colorado QC fan. I use it morning and nights, and you can also use it on cool evenings. To find out more, why don't you just call for an appointment? And I'll tell you, you will love your whole house fan. I absolutely love it. I'm saving money. I have cool, beautiful sleep in my bedrooms. QCColorado.com, the number 720-398-4510. That's QCColorado.com. Savings, fresh air, cool, comfortable fresh air, and constant air exchanges. 720-398-4510. And by the way, speaking of air in your home, everyone agrees that if you have clean ducts, it'll help, right, for circulating cleaner air when you're using your HVAC system. And Duct Pros, Colorado.com has the strongest equipment, truck mounted. 15,000 cubic feet per minute. Listen to this. They also come into your home and with compressed air tools go through all of your ductwork to get it done, and a free antimicrobial fogging for the asking for Martino listeners. 303-578-3510, 578-3510. DuctProsColorado.com.
If you're a man of you're quick, sluggish, weak in your
Hey, I got your picture.
lower libido,
What's
and
that?
just don't have
Mark,
the energy
yours
you
is
used
rough.
to have, it's quite possible that you have low testosterone.
Mark, that's warping? That's not designed to be like that. Holy crap, that's weird looking. You know, there are some roofs that actually look like that, but that one is weird. I know, yeah. And your teeth tape.
And most of our patients can administer their testosterone.
Oh man, is all doing it on every building?
Sorry. And you'll be taken to a treatment room immediately. So come to the Rocky
What a
Mountain
pain in the
and
ass.
experience how testosterone therapy can change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99, with results in minutes. And if you start on
Oh, I'm sure it was
the day of
straight.
your appointment, your visit is free.
Look at these snow guards. That's to hold the snow up.
You know, this is Jim Jones. For the past 35 years, I've had the privilege of representing many wonderful people whose lives have been devastated by a crash caused by a truck.
Order up, Doc. Let them pay.
I have expertise in trucking cases, and because we take purchase cases on a
That burger, like Doc said, was delicious.
I'm good for now. You guys.
Oh, no. For lunch, you don't want it?
I started my diet yesterday. Just the keto diet. So you know what?
Well, you can get a burger, though.
Yeah. All I had yesterday was a steak and Brussels sprouts.
I'll take the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I'm doing that all the time, really.
I gotta lose some weight. Definitely gain much more.
They said the average person in the COVID thing, 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Is that Nico?
5 pounds.
Did the cone of shame come off yet?
No. Let's get it up.
Come on.
I'm gonna take it. I think they have a great Cobb salad. I'm gonna have a Cobb salad.
Okay.
Because he's only half a man, you just call him weak.
Come or on the phone.
Just you have to use my number.
Well, then I'll.
You can pay me back.
I imagine it was
I'll
perfect.
definitely pay.
But,
so you can't. So wait. So you can't just give him a credit card?
No.
So then you do have to kind of be a
Yeah, I
member.
was going to tell you have to be. I asked them.
Ah, damn.
Like you can call up and use my number, which is fine. Pay me back.
I'll pay you back. I'll buy it today.
So what you want, a hamburger?
Just give me the receipt.
Before.
Okay.
Oh wait.
So I remember.
Okay.
You don't want anything, Dan?
No. I'll
Okay,
say
good.
the exact same things you have.
I want the burger.
Same thing as last time, right?
Burger.
Medium burger.
And a salad.
With a salad. You want a medium rare with a salad? No. Okay.
So this is without the snow holders there, huh?
Yes.
They don't have to put it on a bun.
Yeah, that's. Of course, this is a different look at it. It's looking down versus yours looking up.
You want it now or you want it?
Whenever you guys want it. Dan, when do you want it?
Whenever you want.
12.
It's 11 now, so whenever you want to order.
10 seconds mute.
713-8255. All right, we have CBD with us, real Panacea Life Sciences, and I did get a few emails, but I need to take this other one and finish this up first. And thanks for being here. So, Steve, hang on. We'll take your call, too. I won't forget it. So let's get to this garage leveling. Who did we send out for a second opinion, Kent?
So, Cracker Jack Mudjacking came
Excellent.
out. As a matter of fact, they were just there this morning.
And what happened? What did they say?
He looked at it and he says, yeah, he says, we can fix that. $1,225.
As opposed to $20,000. Is he going to get his $10,000 back from these guys?
Well, they won't. They said that we're under contract and they want him to give us the other $10,000 also.
Oh
they said he's
my.
under contract. So, if we walked away from it, we still owe them $10,000.
Okay, hold on.
They're terrible to work for.
First of all, I want to see that contract, and we want to put somebody on this. Here's the bottom line. If it was signed at home, they have to give him 3 days to get out of it. And if it wasn't on the contract, then the 3 days starts when they tell him. So did you see if there was a 3-day right to rescind on that contract? It must be in all in-home contracts.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, damn. Next one, what about his capacity?
It's not good.
I mean, truly, we could argue capacity. I'd like to, listen, you got to get 10 grand's a lot of money, especially if you didn't need the damn thing. And if you can get an engineer to say you don't need it, that's big, because then that would mean that's fraud in the inducement. That if they lied to you to get you to sign something, does it say in that contract he has structural problems?
Well, yeah, the way their wording is, they put down as an opinion. They couldn't see anything. There was a crack in the foundation.
Okay. What's the name of the company?
Complete Basement Systems.
All right. I want you to send us the contract.
There's no testing.
Here's our next step. Send the contract, okay? Just send it. Daphne, get it to me. I want to look at this and talk to some people about it. I want to see if we can get them on fraud or something, or at least just challenge them. I mean, there's no way they spent 10 grand just coming out there. I mean, maybe a small cancellation. This is crap. They still want 20 grand from this guy. Complete Basement Systems, that's a bunch of crap. Now, Steve, you have a question about CBD products. What is your issue?
The issue is we have swelling. My wife and I are both business. We have swelling in the ankles. My hands swell up. When we look up on the websites and look at CBD oil, there's chewables, we just don't know which one to look at as far as what we need.
Steve, what did you say both you and your wife have what underlying condition? What is it?
Just swelling and pains.
Okay, do you guys have any diabetes or anything else? Do you have any other, have you been diagnosed with arthritis or anything?
I have, yes.
Okay. Now, Jamie, if they have swelling in their ankles, this is very common in older people when their heart's not working as well as it was, or their diet's screwed up. It could be a number of things. But does CBD help for this? And what form would he take? Jamie? I'll tell you what. Let's just take it after the break and see where he is. Steve, please hang on, and we'll figure it out. We'll get the right product. I'm Tom Martino. Catherine, we need to talk about that dryer vent company. And also, Ken, hang on. We're still working on yours with the basement leveling. 1,200 by Cracker Jack as opposed to 20,000. Wow.
Tom, I want to ask an important question for Steve.
Okay.
Is it edema or is it joint swelling?
All right.
Well,
how would he know?
Right. Well, because if you're puffing and you can press in, it's edema.
And what's the other?
If it's joint, it's joint. I mean, you can tell the difference between joint pain and it hurts and water retention, basically.
But edema doesn't hurt, though, does it?
Well, to get really bad,
Gotcha.
So there's two different. You need to tell us which it is.
And edema is water? Is that what makes it? Okay.
So that's an important differentiation.
Is it both, what do you consider, what's
Well, arthritis is going to cause joint pain as well. Usually, cardiac insufficiency.
Do you know what?
So other things is going to cause.
Guys, I put on Fauda.
Wow, was that a good show?
I hated it. I didn't get it. I watched the first episode. Granted, I was tired. I was laying in bed.
What did you watch, Tom?
Fauda.
Oh, you didn't like
I got it from Ken.
Okay, the first. Let me get this straight. In the first episode, they heard about the Panther being back or whatever he is.
Yeah.
And they went after him. right? And he got away, right? But they killed some of the people. So it's about these Israeli agents going after the Pan.
Yes.
Okay. I got it, but it just seemed like so fucking real almost that it was like weird. Isn't it real?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like they're not actors. It's almost like we're watching a documentary, right?
No, but you're right. Ken said that they don't look like actors.
And it's more of a gritty kind of documentary. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm not getting intrigued here. I'm getting like scared.
It's not real. I mean,
no,
but
it's too real.
It might be real though.
That's what I meant.
Based on.
To me, it's too real.
So you wait till you get to the point. I'll tell you this when we get to it. They implant a bomb into one of the detectives.
Why?
It was going to be a suicide bomb.
One of those Israelis?
One of the Israelis, the Palestinians plant a bomb into it.
Oh, the Palestinians do.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you need to give it one more episode.
Let me tell you, I'm glad
I didn't say it wasn't.
3 seasons.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I didn't say it wasn't good. I said it was too. It was almost not entertaining because of its grit.
And you're right. The one guy that had Doran. That's the You know what's really not real? He always has the same amount of facial hair. Exactly. It's like a 2-day growth.
Yeah, but people do that. There are razors that like.
Right. But his isn't. I don't think a razor. I think that's just the way. I don't know. But
didn't you find it like almost you forget you're watching an entertainment show? Didn't you feel like you were looking in on? You know what I'm saying?
I felt like I was watching a great show because it was so real.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sometimes you watch these programs and it's so impossible.
Yeah, like
I agree with him.
That this was
really. I didn't get that one.
And you know what? And this might be considered racist for me. They started looking alike. It was hard for me to actually.
So it's the Israelis are going after who? Who's the
Palestinians.
Okay.
That are on the Hamas, Palestinian Authority, and
these guys are really good. They're not like actors.
Well, you know what's really crazy is the drones. When the drones are falling, and then they say,
It's almost like they pulled them out of a real life thing.
I'll bet you it probably kind of is, except for I don't know the way they use the torture. But
I was sleepy, kind of, and when I fall asleep, like I'm in bed and I'm watching it.
I fall asleep.
I do that too with something.
And then I got to go back to where I fall asleep at.
That was too intense.
Really?
No,
I like it. I'm still going through it.
And you couldn't get sleep with Sarah, huh?
No, I can't. That's not.
I have such a hard time sleeping.
So do I. Mine's worse than yours. I fall asleep, then I wake up, then I gotta go back. Which episode was it? I fell asleep because it continues, right?
Right.
Have you watched that, Mark? Fauda? Fauda. F-O-U-D-A. F-A-U-D-A. You'll like it.
So anyway, Mark.
It might be too intellectual for you, Mark.
When are you taking off, Mark?
Saturday.
So cool. I remember those days.
How long are you going to be gone?
3 weeks.
Does Suzanne drive, Mark?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Oh, man, at least Donna used to drive for me. I mean...
You won't let her.
No, that's not true.
He said his dad didn't want to drive.
Donna did a good job, man.
It's just getting used to, I think, just like a big truck. Driving a big truck,
Donna didn't do a lot of manipulation through truck stops and backups and all that, but she did really well.
Did yours have a backup camera back then?
They had one, for God's sakes, they do, yeah.
Back then, though.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that far. When did I have it? What years was that, Mark? Do you remember? I had a 45-foot. My very first one was a 40-foot Prevost Liberty. Then I had a 45-foot Marathon. Then a Vontari. I had all three. I had three of the major converters. But
do they have the things that put out?
I didn't have. I had a slide on my other one, on my most modern one, but not on the first one.
When did you have time to take off?
I didn't. Well, you know what? I took off I mean, I took vacations, and
Did
then
you take more than a week?
no. Well, if I did, I took my remote with me. At that time, it was harder. I had to have a line dropped where I went, and they would drop an ISDN line.
Yeah, because I mean, when I was working, in all the years I worked, in my 35 years.
Oh, it's hard to take a
I
lot of
took
time.
1 year, I took more than a week off. Out of 35 years.
I bet you that in mine, since I was here in Denver, there's probably only 2 times where I didn't take my computer to work while on vacation. But you know, it is intimidating driving a big thing. You've seen those big coal trucks where the tires are twice as big as what you are. I mean, but I bet you they drive easier than a lot of things.
My motorhome.
You just got to get used to it, right?
I got some photos of my motorhomes. I'll find them.
Yeah, see, it's neat because he's no longer a full Nico.
Nico. Where is he? Oh.
There he is.
God, look how big he is. Look at him. He looks like a full-grown dog.
Yeah. He's kind of skinny though when you feel him.
They all are. Well, kind of. I'm telling you, man. Oh, my.
This is the
40 years on the air just in Denver, trying to get through it all and solving problems, and we are so grateful for the following we've had all this time and all of the new listeners because we are kicking ass, basically. You know what I love? With all the division around us and all the crap going on, one thing you can rest assured of, we want to help you. I don't care where you come from, what you do, we want to help because we're all united against liars, cheats, and rip-offs and things that just, you know, that aren't fair. So let's get to the phones about that because that's the real deal here. And I want to go quickly. Now, Steve says he has inflammation, basically, he and his wife. And you don't have a specific underlying condition, Steve. Do you know if it's edema? Deputy Doc asked, is it edema or is it a joint swelling? Do you know the difference? Do you know, Steve?
We have both. I have the edema. She has the swelling.
And how's your heart?
Good. Excellent.
So, Deputy Doc, what causes edema?
Well, it could be a lot of things.
Hold on, let me turn you on. Go ahead.
It could be a bunch of things. It could be cardiac insufficiency, or it could be dietary, too much salt. But that's a totally different constellation of symptoms than joint swelling, which is usually arthritic.
So let's ask Jamie Baumgartner. He's with Panacea Life Sciences, realcbdthatworks.com. Hey, Jamie, how has CBD worked for people with chronic inflammation?
Well, with chronic inflammation, there's a number of different mechanisms that this material works on. So it's, as we talked about before, it's really a good anti-inflammatory. And so that inflammation allows less swelling around the site of injury. So like with chronic joint pain, for example, what we see is less swelling. We also see a direct and indirect effect that actually lowers the amount of pain that's being felt. And so we actually have a number of studies that we've done in predictive pharmacology models that show that this material actually alleviates pain about 40 times better than ibuprofen, for example. Ken is absolutely right that some of the fluid retention you're talking about could be due to a number of different factors that is different than joint pain. However, one of the things that I can tell you is that CBD is also diuretic, which also helps a little bit with the edema or the fluid accumulation, especially like in the ankles.
Okay.
So it may actually help with that as well.
All right. So which product would he take? I mean, does it matter as long as you get the CBD into you, or are there some better than others for that systemic inflammation?
Well, I mean, the easiest thing to do, and one of the products that I really like is our sublingual tablet. And so there's really two products there. The sublingual tablet is a nice controlled dose, has a pleasant taste. You let it dissolve into your tongue, and then you should see effects fairly rapidly with respect to that one. And then if you like that product and it's working for you, then you can actually explore the soft gels. And I know, Tom, you take a 75 mg soft gel on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And that's a great product, but I would start with the sublingual tablet to begin with, and then if it starts to work, then I would take the higher dose that you take in terms of that soft gel, and that'll give a more prolonged effect throughout the day.
Steve, do you have any specific questions, sir?
Do they ship to Tucson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just go to the website. They'll ship to Tucson.
We are on the website right now.
Yeah, realcbdthatworks.com. And
we're on that one right now.
Okay, thank you. And again, if you have any questions, we have Jamie standing by with Panacea Life Sciences. Now, I want to talk about this. Aaron Israel's attorney at law on our referral list. He does a lot of litigation on different things, but he knows a lot about contract law. So I'm gonna just ask him legally, like, okay, so she has a contract to have a wedding in July, and they say, hey, we can still do your wedding. So as far as we're concerned, you have a contract. We're not going to delay it. We can only give you a Wednesday. They gave her one alternative, which was, Stacy, a Wednesday 1 month you couldn't do it. And you said, can't we just extend it a year? But the real question is this, Aaron. That contract, I think, specifies a number of people. And now they're saying they can only accommodate half of those people. Would that be a breach?
Specifies a maximum number of people, not to be exceeded, Tom. I read it.
Oh, okay. Aaron, anyway, what I'm asking you is, for them to say, hey, due to COVID and all this, we have restrictions now, we're still going to do it, but we're going to do it differently and with less people. Would that be a breach, Aaron, a breach of the contract?
Tom, I think it would be, because the way I look at this contract is they have specifically licensed the use of this product for a specific day at a specific time. And what's happened then, and from what it sounds like to me, is the operator of the venue has called and said, we can't do it at this time, but we can do it at this time. And unfortunately, there's no provision in this contract for but we could do it here. The contract says you get it on this date. And then if they cannot provide it and the licensor, meaning the venue owner, has to cancel, there's a remedy. And the remedy is they have to give you all your money back. I don't see anything that allows them to rebook it and make reasonable accommodations based upon events that are out of the control. Their contract is really specific. It says if we can't perform, you get your money back.
Now, Aaron, but they're saying they will do the wedding on the day specified, but they're just going to do it for half the people. So they're saying they are going to perform. So it went. Is there anything else different, Stacy? What did they say would be different?
They said that they can operate as a restaurant, so we can have up to 50 people. That's what restaurant guidelines are. Or we could move it to a later date in December. Like I said, right now all they had was a Wednesday evening. We paid for the full day. We paid for Saturday. I want to,
But if you go ahead and have the wedding, this is what I want to ask Aaron. On the day specified, you were going to have how many people?
We have invited 150 people. That is not including plus ones. So we were going to be right about the 200 mark. And
they say you can only have 50. I think they're misinterpreting, by the way, the restaurant rules, but that's just a whole different topic. So is that sounds to me then, from what you're saying, Aaron, like a breach?
I think it could be, and there's some more language in this contract, Tom, where it talks about they have to tell the venue operator what the intended use is. And my question, I guess, that arises from that is, did you inform them that you were, one, going to hold a wedding, which I assume you did, two, that you were going to need to accommodate 150 plus people in the process?
Didn't it say, isn't there a not to exceed Mark said he saw in there?
There's a not to exceed, but I want to know if they were informed about what the minimum amount of people that would be there would be.
Well, she's going to say yes, but what's the difference if it's not in writing, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, can she say, well, they knew there were going to be 200. What if they just denied it?
Well, I would think that there'd be some written record.
So, Stacy, was there any written record whatsoever of table placement or anything that would indicate the number of people?
Yes, sadly, I do not have that paperwork, but they wrote it down so we could start. They said 150 people written down, and then we were going to start going over the table placement.
Where was it written down?
They have it. Of course, I don't have it.
Is it something they would say doesn't exist?
I don't. Well, I don't know how they would act. I thought I knew them, but I guess I don't.
Yeah, but if there is a not to exceed of 200, I mean, Aaron, don't you think that would be enough?
I think that it probably would. If you put a cap on there of 200 people, and then you try to reduce it to 50, it's them trying to accommodate, and I would say that they have not lived up to their end of the bargain at that point.
Even though it's beyond their control.
Yeah, but they don't have anything in their contract that talks about that. It's kind of strange, at least not that I saw. Aaron, did you?
No, I was actually really surprised. I figured that'd be one of the first things I saw, is that they are allowed to move it. I think it would say that, but it doesn't say anything about that I saw.
So it sounds, Stacy, like you got a pretty good deal to go after them. How much is your deposit right now with them?
We have paid in full, but I believe our deposit was $500.
Oh no! So you paid in full since? How much did you pay?
Oh, I paid $5,200, and this was paid before October 11th.
Small claims. So this is perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect for small claims. It is.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna claim and if you ever want to, call Aaron, I mean, you can call him and. Here's the deal. I don't see how they can just arbitrarily say you can only have 50 people now. If it's specified, they knew you were planning on a lot by putting that 200 in there. Aaron Israels is with Israels and Newman. Now, Aaron, what's the normal kind of law you do? I say normal, or your emphasis of practice?
Tom, my normal practice involves representing investors who have been aggrieved in the process and lost money in investing through theft, fraud, and other bad acts. But I do a lot of contract reviews throughout that. So. Okay.
And that's 720-599-3505. 720-599-3505. Yes.
Aaron, I just a quick question, and just because of what you just said. Going back about a year, Elon Musk came out and said they were going to sell or go private, and basically it made the stock jump up. It all turned out to be a bunch of crap. Do you remember that, and do you think some investors that were shorting that stock should have went after him? What's your opinion?
They probably could have done something on a class action basis. I think what ultimately wound up happening in that case is the SEC started an investigation as well. I don't know what the results were, but probably the investors could do something about it, but it would result in a holder class action.
Deputy Doc has a question.
Hey, Israel, I have a quick question.
Aaron,
I'm sorry. Does FINRA have reasonable policing powers over people who have had bad investment advice or crooked dealers?
Does who have it?
FINRA.
Okay.
Yes, FINRA is a regulatory body.
Got a break soon.
Certain aspects of the securities industry. The way that you determine whether or not FINRA has jurisdiction is based upon the type of licensing that the particular investment advisor has. There's 3 different regulatory bodies that regulate investment advisors. Primarily, you have FINRA, which regulates people who are affiliated with brokerage firms. And then you have the SEC that also regulates registered investment advisors. And then you also have the Colorado Securities Division that does regulation of pretty much anyone in the state who is a financial advisor.
All right, thank you very much. Now, again, Stacy, that's good news for you that he said it does sound like a breach. We are way over time. We have to take this quick break on the Troubleshooter Show. More to come.
Clear. You got QC Manufacturing and Fuller Law in about 30 seconds.
Hey, I sent you guys both the contract for the basement. But I thought Cracker Jack said they don't do basement lifting.
Yeah, they do. If they can get in there, they do.
Okay.
The problem is getting in there.
QC Manufacturing, long full loss order.
No, seriously, he's making a mess. No.
It's access.
I thought they wouldn't do foundations. I thought
they don't do foundations.
Well, that's what this was. Look what he'll.
Let's talk about the QC whole house fan that I have right now. QCColorado.com. Put it in. Now QC Colorado is that's all they do. Are whole house fans. They can do it in about an hour, and it only takes a small hole in the top floor ceiling of your home, and then everything else is remote mounted, including the fan. That's why you don't hear it. That's why it's quiet and cool. And also, the remote control to start and stop it, you just hang on the wall. You don't have to dig in any wiring. First of all, that installation is seamless, but what I really love is what it does. It saves you on air conditioning. You get up in the morning and you turn that thing on and it cools your entire house down. You turn the air on, it hardly works. I turn it on in the evening and some cool, at night or cool evenings. This is a great option for your home to keep you in fresh air, cool air, comfortable sleep, and saving money on air conditioning. 720-398-4510. 720-398-4510, QCColorado.com. You know, I want to emphasize that you can get free legal advice when you really need it. You just got in an accident. Somebody hit you, maybe you're on a bicycle, or a big rig hit you. It has to do with traffic or any kind of injury, and you don't know what to do. You know what? Just don't go off half-cocked or just wait around and lose your rights. Call John Fuller and get some information. He'll be happy to discuss your case, and if you both decide it's a good fit and he takes it, he only gets paid if he collects for you, and that's a small percentage of what he gets. PersonalInjuryCO.com, 303-597-4500.
In an uncertain, all right, you're good. Think every American ought to have.
So Dan, yesterday when I was watching the news, I turned on Fox at 6 o'clock. They had 20 minutes of riots in New York, Philadelphia, all these areas.
New York was really
I turned on CNN, and the only thing they were talking about is the fact that they cleared the protesters in front of the White House. They said nothing about the multitude of riots in every city in the country.
Yeah.
They are fucking leftists.
Right. You look up Chris Palmer. He's a basketball announcer.
Yeah.
What about
that was a tweet I was talking about. He says basically burn it down and stuff. They were burning down a low-income housing. But then when they got close to his place, he says, "Get these motherfuckers out of here." You know, go somewhere else, he says. What I tell you.
And CNN is totally blind to the rioting and looting that's going on.
They're not blind. They know it.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Their reporting is totally blind.
Who's totally blind?
CNN is not reporting at all on the riots and looting.
Yeah. But they're also blaming police for the escalation.
Right.
They're saying it's the police has shown too much force.
Hey, Mark, did you see the contract I sent you?
On which one, sir?
On the basement for the old guy.
No, what about it?
Well, I sent it to you just to look at it and stuff. And on this thing, I look at the way I read it, the notice of cancellation, he just loses his deposit.
That was 10 grand.
Right.
Shit.
Let me read it. The Garage Kings? No?
No. Complete basement systems.
Okay, let me see. Snyder. Now, what were you asking, though?
I said the way the guy, what was his name, Kent said they want the whole 20 grand. I read it that he loses his deposit.
Did he do any work?
No. None.
Why did they stop?
You have to ask Kent.
Well, my God, if he's already given 10 grand down, why wouldn't he have it done?
Well, he had someone else. They had Cracker Jack, and Cracker Jack can do it for $1,200.
Oh, but this guy, I see. Well, is this guy going to do peering?
No.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's going on in your life? And I hate to bring it up, but if you need
bankruptcy help, winkandwink.com can help you. And I hate to bring it up because, it is a bad time for a lot of people. A lot of people are not thriving. And they're going to have to do a bankruptcy simply because of the pandemic and the shutdown. They're not going to recover unless they do. If you're one of them, call Wink and Wink before you make any stupid mistakes. Like, there are certain things you should do before a bankruptcy. Solid, legal, and smart things to do. Winkandwink.com, and they're always ready to answer questions for you and even help you if you can avoid a bankruptcy. Winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720. All right, so to the phones we go, and the air vent, Catherine, what happened with this dryer vent? What happened?
Thank you, Tom. The bottom line is that I had someone come to clean the dryer vent, and the dryer vent the duct was broken, and so I don't want to pay him. And there's
okay. Did you only have him do one vent?
Yes, the duct from the dryer.
That's it. He came to do one vent and he broke it. Where did he break it? On the wall outside or where?
He pushed some pressed air into it, and the connection between the pieces of the dryer vent came apart.
Where? I need. So you have the back of the dryer, and then a flexible duct goes from behind the dryer into.
Not flexible.
So behind your dryer, immediately behind your dryer, where it hooks to your dryer, you have a rigid flue.
It's rigid, and it goes up the wall because the dryer's in the basement. It goes up the wall behind the dryer.
So it makes a 90-degree turn and goes up the wall?
Yes.
Okay. And it's rigid.
And then it makes a bunch of other turns, too.
Okay. And then it eventually goes outside. And he cleaned that whole line, right?
Well, he says he did, and it all came apart.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Where did it all come apart? Where?
Up near the ceiling of the basement, it came apart, and it's also no longer attached to the dryer.
Okay, so it's not attached to the dryer, it's not attached at the ceiling, and where else? Anywhere else?
Well, not that I know of. It's hard to see some of it.
Okay, and by the way, if you ever had to, you could have a small camera put through there for not much expense to see where it is. Now, on the outside of the house, is it still connected?
Yes, I think so, yes.
It has a little flapper vent there or something, or a screened vent. Here's the deal. What you're describing is very easy to fix. I mean, it's a consequence of what he did. First of all, he disconnected it to do what he had to do, most likely. And can't you just reconnect it? Did you tell him about it?
Oh, he told me about it. He could tell when he forced the air into it. And it's... You should look at the pictures. I sent.
Okay, where are the pictures? You sent us photos. I haven't seen them. Are you saying that it's irreparable? I mean, that he did that much harm?
Well, he said it was wrong. It was put together with just duct tape.
Well, how else do you put it together? I don't even know what he's talking about.
The different sections of metal tube.
Oh, yeah, I know.
With duct tape.
That's why they call it duct tape.
Well, there's different kinds of duct tape. This is just gray duct tape. Well, he said it wasn't good enough, and that's why it broke.
What did he say had to be used?
Well, he said for $300 they would replace it.
Okay. We have to, listen, if he's telling the truth, if it truly is defective, well, that's one thing. But then maybe not. I mean, I don't know the actual situation without having someone see it. But what you're describing doesn't sound like a major deal. That ductwork could come apart, I imagine. And he might be talking about, to put the flues together with heat, there might be another kind of duct tape they could have used, but it doesn't mean the entire line is defective. The flues are flues where they connect. Can I see those photos? All right, send them to me, because just hold on and I'll look at them, okay? Just hang on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have some lines open. Miguel, what's going on with you, Miguel?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
So, I'm about to start a business,
What kind of business are you starting?
Oh, it's a coffee shop.
A coffee shop?
Yeah.
Man, is this a rough time to do that. But what's going on with it?
So I'm just wondering how to protect my personal assets. What's the best thing to do?
Okay, listen, Miguel, usually with a new business, you do an LLC or a corporation to isolate yourself, but listen, that isolates yourself from liability, but not usually from creditors, because very few creditors will loan money to a brand new business without a personal guarantee. So I don't know what you're trying to protect yourself from. Are you talking about liability? That would be an LLC.
No. Well, I guess, how can I protect my personal, like my house?
Okay, just what I said. If you're concerned about liability for people getting hurt or coffee or burned or anything like that, you would do an LLC, and that thing would be owned by the LLC, of which you're a member or the only member, doesn't matter. And then you would have proper insurance. However, that gets you away from that kind of liability. It doesn't remove financial liability for loans and credit, because most new businesses have to do a personal guarantee. So that's the way you would do it, an LLC. But there's also other ways to protect yourself, like knowing the risk of the business itself. Like, have you scouted a location for this business, Miguel?
Yeah.
May I ask a frank question? A coffee shop is probably one of the most difficult businesses to get into, and do you know why? Because of Starbucks. Starbucks
and McDonald's.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point. But Starbucks
99-cent coffee.
Starbucks is all over. They're all over, and you know, they have places to sit. So are you? You didn't call to ask me this, but I'm wondering: are you doing anything differently? Is it going to be kind of something different?
I mean, it's better coffee.
Okay, and have you done a feasibility study as to traffic and all, and if you have enough people and all of that?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
And you located the location, and you calculated in the tenant finish and all the stuff you're going to need to keep going?
Yeah.
You should have, and I'm telling you this, you should have at least 6 months of total operating capital to get started. That's really more than that, but
I'm sure the landlord's going to want a personal guarantee, so if you do want to protect your assets, make sure you don't sign that.
Well, yeah, but then the landlord may say, forget it, I'm not renting to you. Miguel, what kind of a lease do you have to sign?
Well, the landlord is actually working with me a little bit, or a lot. It'll be a 2-year lease, and he's waiving the first 6 months.
Okay. And do you have money to keep it operating if you don't make money?
I believe so.
And have you ever done a business before?
No, but I've been in the industry for about 11 years.
Okay, what part of the industry, Miguel?
My job, I actually work for a coffee roaster.
What will you think make your coffee different?
Well, for one, it's a way better coffee than Starbucks and McDonald's. And it's just the service that it will provide.
Okay, is it a convenient location? Are you going to have a drive-through?
There is no drive-through. But, I mean, it's a new business, but it's been a coffee shop for the last 11, 12 years.
So you would be taking it over and kind of changing it around a bit?
Somewhat, yeah.
Is it making money right now?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a second, Miguel, and I'm going to come. Hold on a sec, really quickly. I'm going to. I'm also looking at Catherine's dryer vent pictures, but Miguel, I got a couple other points that I want to make sure you don't overlook, and then we have some open lines at 303-713-TALK. More right after this.
clear.
What?
About 1 minute and 1 minute till Excel Roofing and become the banker. Sorry.
6:30.
A business plan, get a loan from a bank.
Right.
And everything that I sign is all personal.
I know.
If you have a PC, you can't hide assets.
You can't even do that with regular ones.
Yeah, business
But
plan.
he must have a business plan
What?
in order for the bank to give him a loan.
What are you saying, Mark?
I'll do it.
What?
Do what?
This guy's throwing his fucking money away.
Yeah, I know, Mark. Good.
Be the bad guy.
No, it's not even the bad guy. I mean, I was trying to say that in a nice way, like, what the hell makes you think you're going to make it?
But Tom, if he's taking over a shop.
It'd be like Dan trying to run banner ads.
But you know what else? People don't take into consideration the true cost. Did you send me the photos, bro?
I sent you the photos. I got them ready to go up. This is the Mickey Mouse put it in there, but all you got to do is put it together. This duct tape. I'll put the things up there. I sent to you too, Mark. Pictures of the dryer vent. Look at that.
ExcelRoofing.com, as in excellent. That's Excel Roofing, and they are excellent. In fact, Mark had them do their roof. I've had them do like 3 or 4 roofs for me. ExcelRoofing.com, locally owned and operated since '93. They have more than 30,000 satisfied customers. They do honor their warranties. Jay is the owner. He does everything the right way, truly, including not a penny paid, not 1 cent until you're content. And when they say they're on top of it, they mean it, because they understand the entire roof system. That means that they know the proper ventilation, the proper vents that need to be put in, and how to lay a roof down that'll last and last. Here's the deal. You won't find better. They're rock solid, and they've been on our referral list since day one. 303-761-6400. 303-761-6400. ExcelRoofing.com for complete estimates with materials and everything and real costs, so you can go to your insurance with knowledge. 303-761-6400. Another rock solid guy is Joe Chiano, and he offers education in Become the Banker. That's a strategy, okay? It basically involves saving money tax-free, growing it tax-free, using it through your life to pay bills and to be your own banker, and then to ultimately pay yourself back to have a nest egg for retirement. Find out more. Look at my video, becomethebanker.info. It'll have all the other information for you to get involved. Becomethebanker.info. Well, okay. You did send it to me.
First of all, I would have thought they would have put us together. It's basically putting it up there. And
okay, so here.
Not only that, is there.
Here. That's not a big deal.
Right. But it's going to come apart again, right?
But they did use the wrong tape. I mean, it didn't withstand the heat.
Well, it
okay,
just comes
she's
apart.
upset with her flue, and her flue's a piece of junk. They didn't do that.
They
did not. I could see the way it's put together.
Right.
It's a piece of junk.
Right. And her gas line is illegal too.
Why is that?
That's supposed to be strapped up there to the ceiling.
But man,
in fact, that's pretty dangerous what she has right there in her gas line.
This actually doesn't look that bad.
Yeah, Mark. Come on, buddy.
I use Scotch tape.
No, that's the next. They went one above Scotch tape.
I like when Tom says, "Well, that's what duct tape does."
I don't know if they used the wrong kind. It's just. I thought she was saying. I thought it was the way she described it. It was plastic.
What is her problem anyhow? Though I hate to say I wasn't paying attention.
Because it came apart.
And they're saying, well, the reason it came apart is it's fucking bullshit.
Right.
I agree with them. How about you?
I know, but I think they should have at least stuck it back in there. Unless it's a liability. I don't know if this was a liability that it's going to a fire hazard or what.
Look at that. Look at that fucking. Here's her other problem. Look at that dryer that was made in 1980.
Look at that gas line. It's not even supported.
Yeah, you're right. It's just up in 90 degrees. Look at the electric plug-in. It's fucking all hanging there.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, look where it's plugged in. It's all crooked as shit because I assume it's hanging. I mean, I guess maybe someone just mounted it crooked.
Yeah. What is that? What is that black box right below it? Is that another?
That is a Schedule 2 Type 3 inverter.
Man, his roof looked nice when they first did it.
You see the fucking difference?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
It didn't shrink.
It doesn't look like it shrunk.
It didn't shrink. It's not shrinkage.
It doesn't look like shrinkage.
It's the heat expanded it.
Okay, here's what I'm asking you guys. Do you think it's a product failure or a installation issue?
Product.
Well, now listen, Tom. What happens if they nailed it too close? If you're supposed to allow it to expand a little bit, I don't know.
That's why I'm saying none of us know right now.
Exactly.
By looking at how flat it's supposed to be as flat as any fucking thing you've ever seen.
Right.
So what is your guess? That's all I'm asking.
I can't believe they didn't realize it would expand.
Well, I don't know, man. I have no idea. Remember, that product's less than a year old.
Right. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
So, Catherine, I looked at your photos, and by the way, Miguel, we'll get back to you on your business, too. Let me first go back to Catherine. Catherine, we looked at the photos, and from what I can tell, the flue system you had on that was it was junk. You can tell it was put together in a terrible way, and the flue itself is the cheapest stuff you can get, and that even looks like it wasn't assembled properly. The way, and it's too hard to explain, but it looks like they even did it unevenly with the seams on it. It's just junk. Now, this guy probably should have looked at it and says, you know what, Catherine, this is junk, and it's not going to... he shouldn't have cleaned it. He should have just offered you the $300 to change it out. How much did you pay for the cleaning, Catherine?
Well, I owe them $125. I haven't paid it.
Would he apply that toward the new one if you wanted to get it new?
He didn't say he would.
Well, ask him what kind of, like if you've had to pay for a new one, which is $300 plus the $125, I would ask him, you know, if this was such a piece of junk, why didn't you advise me I needed a new one in the beginning? Although you can't blame him all for it. But Catherine, listen, I don't know the guy that did it. I'm not trying to side with him. I'm just saying it's a piece of crap. Your flu. Oh, yes, Daff. What?
We had one of our angels call in, and he said, first of all, he should have never left that disconnected.
No, of course not.
Because of the gas. He did say that it needs to be replaced with a rigid pipe because it's gas, and it needs to be aluminum tape. You never want to use screws because screws collect lint.
Okay, so
the whole
that's
thing
all
looks
good.
like a nightmare.
That's all good, but what I'm saying is
I believe all that. There's also a gas leak now that I...
Well, how would this guy cause a gas leak? Your gas, by the way, if you want to be technical, your gas is installed incorrectly, too. So here's the problem, Catherine. You have an older installation that's not done properly, and anyone who touches it, you're going to hold responsible for it. And it's just not fair, because I'm just being straight with you here. You know, if you have a gas leak, it has very little to do with what this guy did. Your gas lines are not even supported, and they would have to be redone too. So I'm telling you, you have a problem, and this man did not cause it. So
I agree with you, Tom.
Okay.
I agree with you, and I intend to have repairs made at my expense. I'm not asking them to repair.
All right. So what are you asking for? Just to waive the $125?
I just didn't want to pay the $125.
I agree. I know what you mean. Here's what I think. I think the guy should have said, hey, you know what? This is wrong. We don't want to clean it, and you need new. But I don't know why he didn't say that. I don't know why he didn't. Did you ask him why he went ahead and cleaned it anyway, since it was so bad?
No, I have not asked him that.
What's the name of the company that cleaned it?
The company is called Action Appliance.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Isn't that the one we used to have trouble with all the time?
That's the one that threw stuff at me.
Yeah, those people suck. The only thing Action Appliance has is a lot of advertising, but they suck.
Well, I also owe them $75 for coming out to give me a bid on other things which I haven't received.
Like what? Like what?
I have some plumbing leaks and some electrical.
Why, don't use these people. Why did you use these people?
I'm going to look at your referral list. That's what I should have done.
Well, yeah, I mean that would surely help. Where did you find Action Appliance?
I got them from. I have it over here.
And you certainly don't want to use them for plumbing issues.
I guess not. Well, no, I won't. But
what are your plumbing issues?
Well, I have a shower I have a drop ceiling in my kitchen, and sometimes water comes through it.
That's a problem.
Damaged.
Listen.
Yeah.
God, that's a hell of a problem.
God, you know what? How old is your home?
It's a 1970s home. I've been in it for 30 years.
Okay.
You could have asbestos too if they dig into that.
You could have asbestos in that ceiling if they have to take it apart.
Well, I did have some can lights put into it, and he didn't. The electrician did not say.
Well, that could be because he doesn't know any better. All I'm saying is this: you got to call someone honest to give you a full assessment of that leak, and then you need to call someone else honest to replace the flue and do it. As far as the 125 goes, listen, I don't know what you're going to do with that. I think they shouldn't have cleaned it, although they're going to say, why not? We did the job. Why shouldn't we be paid? My argument would be you left it worse than when it was, even though it's kind of not their fault.
They shouldn't have done it.
No, they shouldn't have.
Hey, is that a popcorn ceiling, though?
No.
Okay.
Not a popcorn ceiling.
Now, it could still be asbestos, don't get me wrong, but it's good it's not popcorn.
So I don't know, do you want to call and ask him not to charge, or what do you think? Do you feel comfortable calling him, Doc? I mean,
all they can do is say no.
Let's call him for you and see what we can do, but I'm just going to warn you, they walked into a trap. This thing sucks. And they shouldn't have done it to begin with. And you're going to need your gas line rerouted if you have a gas leak. You're going to need definitely that flue replaced almost immediately. And then you need to look for your plumbing leak. So please, don't just call anyone by chance.
Dryer.
What's that?
Don't run her dryer. That's carbon.
Yeah. Do not use your dryer until you get this stuff fixed.
Well,
we got more coming right up.
Clear. Nothing this break.
Stay connected with your favorite shows on Denver's talk station.
Sign up for our newsletter. Email now at khow.com/newsletter. Breaking news, weather, sports, and more from our community. That's khow.com/newsletter.
Well, yeah.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
There's a couple of trouble spots to watch out for when you drive across town. Seeing a bit of delay on the west side of town on westbound 6th Avenue between Kipling and Union there. That's due to construction in the left lane. It's blocked off on that stretch, so just watch out for that. And construction...
Squeak? You talking about the squeaky shoes?
No. He did they were cleaning the shoes, and then Kramer got a bloody nose and laid down and said, "Look at this, your winer's a mess up there." And they had inspector come in there and they shut him down.
They shut down what?
Their business. Because they have all these issues. Where is that, Tom?
Right outside the White House, they said.
You know, seriously, they're not working, and this is why this is freaking happening.
They're all white, every one of them.
This is, like I said, they're not working. And
every one of them is white.
You know, when I look at Watts, you know what Watts started? Yeah. What? Oh, what started it? Yeah. It was a Korean who shot, I thought it was a Korean who shot on a flat. black truck with DUI. They stopped the guy.
Hey, why can horses walk through tear gas?
What?
Why can horses walk through tear gas?
I don't know.
I just saw them walking through tear gas.
I often thought of that and stuff. What would a horse? That's why I thought they wouldn't have horses for that. I don't know.
And now for Debbie Downer.
That their point is very important, and their outrage is justified. But keep in mind, during this moment,
this has nothing to do with
going out
outrage.
to protest, we're still in the middle of the COVID pandemic.
Oh, he brings up COVID.
The
So
NYPD,
what?
the mayor, did not do their job.
So over. These are young kids out there. The tear gas kills COVID.
Second, you have 38,000 NYPD people. It is the largest police department in the United States of America.
They hate him.
Use 38,000 people and protect property. Use the police, protect property and people. Look at the videos. It was a disgrace.
Was a dumb communist.
I believe that.
Wow.
How did he get elected?
The mayor
he's saying the mayor dropped the ball.
Of the problem. I think he underestimates
Especially the mayor. Look at the mayor of Minneapolis. They should impeach him.
He's saying the mayor of
And I don't think
well,
they've used enough police to address the situation. Because it's inarguable, but that it was not addressed last night.
You're listening? Okay, good. It's just in New York.
We have a fundamental issue.
New York wants to do this.
Which is we just spent 93 days.
Oh, Cuomo's getting on de Blasio because he screwed it all up.
Closing down, no school.
Hey, de Blasio's
one dam gets on another.
I know. So de Blasio's daughter got arrested.
Oh shit, is that going on right now? People have lost.
What?
Is it going on now, the riots?
No. I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at some stuff.
Is that shit look on Fox News. Oh, you guys don't have a TV.
No, but I can
we
pull
can
up
do
live
it.
Fox.
We actually can look at TV here. We do have one right behind us.
Fox.
A lot of people. Why was his daughter arrested?
We have it right now.
Protesting.
Yeah, man, that is. Wow, that is live, and it is bad.
Where is that from?
New York.
In New York?
Hey, look, they're all white people.
Facebook, Twitter.
Well, you were looking at Washington.
No, right now, this one, outnumbered, overtime. Look, right here.
Oh, look at that one white person there. Oh, well, it's a mannequin. They have their kids out there?
Newsmax TV is on DirecTV, Xfinity, Dish, Spectrum, Cox, Optimum, Fios, Uber, Sudden Link, Mediacom, Armstrong.
I've not seen it.
Rick, come on, man. Just trying to watch this live. I have to go through all this bullshit.
I know.
Repairs for a living. We know the way you work has changed.
We can't afford a TV here. Hey, turn your TV on.
Ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros.
Well, let's go. I want to see it.
An augmented video chat tool, so you can be there for your.
It has seriously nothing to do with outrage. Nothing.
Oh,
it's a pleasure, Harris. Thank you.
What happened to Bellagio's daughter? Did they cut her loose?
I think so. They arrested her. With the police, this is where I say the police hate de Blasio. They hate. So the guy says, hey, she was throwing stuff. She should have been arrested. And then apparently she was arrested. The police report said that she was didn't leave. She was supposed to leave because of curfew, whatever. She didn't leave. By the way, his daughter's ugly as hell.
See, you're different than me. I don't judge by the outside.
Hey, what didn't one of his daughters and stuff want to be a porn actress?
That wasn't the question.
It wasn't?
That was either De Niro.
It's what?
It was either De Niro or.
Oh, could have been De Niro.
I think it was De Niro.
You're right. It was Robert De Niro's daughter. De Niro, de Blasio, hey, it's the same thing.
They're all the same. All those Italians.
Is de Blasio Italian?
That's 30369.
10 seconds, here we go.
Financing.net.
MLS 182334, regulated by the Division of
10 seconds, I'm going to mute you.
30 KL, an iHeartRadio station.
I'm Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. I saw this meme online that says, "This much is certain after all this rioting. In 2 weeks, we're either going to have a crap load of sick Democrats, or we're going to realize COVID-19 was not what they were saying."
You know what? I thought that exact thing.
I mean, social distancing, what?
Hey, but they're all wearing masks, or we'll know if masks really work.
Yeah, I guess. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I really don't want to make light of that protesting and stuff. And by the way, if we want to go on points of agreement, we all agree people have a right to peacefully protest, right? We all agree on that. But this is what I want to know. And seriously, I want to know it. And I'm not saying it justifies rioting and looting, but I just have a question. What happens when peaceful protesting doesn't work? What happens when there's never a change and things go on and on and on? I mean, it's a valid question. So, and everyone, what was that quarterback that everyone gave a lot of crap to for taking a knee? Colin Kaepernick, right? And he said he was protesting, and it was because of how black men were treated by police. Wasn't that one of the main issues for these? And they were chastised for that. But if you think about it, it was a peaceful protest. And they were called all kinds of names for doing that. And that was a peaceful protest.
It was kind of making the NFL in general look bad.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it was a peaceful protest, and we all say, why aren't they peacefully protesting? And then when people do peacefully protest, we give them a lot of crap for it.
Because he did it at work.
Well, he did it at work. So what? It was peaceful. Everyone has a right to peacefully protest. Oh, who says?
Hey, you're on the air right now. Let's start protesting.
Yeah. But I have nothing to protest. I mean, I think it's disgusting, but I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to pretend this happened to me or I have an issue, but I do think it sucks. Yes, I do. But here's the deal. What I'm saying is people do peacefully protest than they have in the past. It's not like they haven't.
You know what really sucks about this last thing? Here's what gets me about it. There's always bad apples. This cop was a bad apple. Why they didn't arrest him almost immediately for murdering this guy is a part I'll never go. It was the cover-up or the apparent cover-up. That's the worst part about this.
Well, and also the other cops that stood by. That's another thing. They're
all part of the cover-up.
They're just as guilty, though. I mean, I just don't know the justification in his mind. What did he tell his boss? Well, he was resisting. I mean, I would resist dying too under the knee of somebody. Like, there would be nothing wrong with them putting this guy in the car or standing him up. I mean, or on his knees,
handcuffing him.
What? They put him in the car after they broke his neck. Yeah, after they broke his neck.
No. They put him in the car, and he says, "Hey, I'm claustrophobic. I can't take this."
That second autopsy
was then they put him on the ground after they put him in the car. Oh, he said, "Please, I can't sit in the car. I'm claustrophobic. Please put your knee on my neck and let me be outside." Yeah, but he certainly didn't ask to be on the floor or on the ground.
The second autopsy said he was probably dead on the ground.
Oh my God. This is ridiculous. Anyway, we'll get back to helping people, I promise you. We got more coming up. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So wait a minute. He was in the car and wanted to get out.
Apparently they got him out and then handcuffed him, put him on the ground and handcuffed him. Because apparently he must have been, and see, we don't have video of that. Apparently he was trying to get out of the car saying he was claustrophobic.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Patrick.
Wait, what's that? Hold on, let me see. Let me remind myself here.
Okay, here's what's really bad.
Yes.
Who the hell is Minneapolis guys for the first one that said he didn't die of that?
For her, so we need that information for Deputy Doc. For action, contacting for Captain over our chat.
Want a house or Caesar salad?
I'll have a house with balsamic.
Dan, what kind do you want, Caesar or regular salad? Regular. Okay, regular salad. Then I want a medium rare burger.
Right. But this guy says it definitely showed, the second autopsy definitely showed that his neck was definitely pushed on hard, so it must have even maybe separated something.
Exactly.
So, but like I said, so that's the way I understand it, Tom. They put him in there. He was fighting to get out, saying he's claustrophobic. Then they put him in handcuffs, or they put him on the ground.
Why the ground part?
To get the handcuffs on.
Yes, side salad.
That's why they use so many of them. That's the way I understood it. And then the guy stayed
I'll
on.
give you a credit card.
He didn't have handcuffs in the car?
Apparently
Or do
not.
I have to charge it to my account? Okay.
But we didn't see that video. You know that.
No problem.
That part of the video. We didn't start taking the video. I wonder if these cops had cameras on. You know, I swear to God, these cops turned the cameras on.
You got it. Thank you.
You know, there's one rioting and stuff where they did that. They fired the police chief because all the cops had their cameras off.
Ken, just give me the receipt. I'll just pay you back.
I did. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people in New York. Holy shit.
Well, yeah, that's the most. It's gotten more people than any other city in the U.S. Of course.
How come Bellagio isn't arresting them for the social distancing all of a sudden?
That's the only way he would get them.
Yeah, if it was a family of 8 having a picnic with the neighbors, he'd lock them up.
That's right. That's right. He's got to be the worst mayor New York has ever had. You know, right. Hey, do you know, de Blasio, I just read some stuff last night just because I did thing on his daughter there. His wife's on the payroll.
Yeah, but I mean, that shit happens.
You know?
Suzanne's on my payroll.
But you're not a mayor. You should be a mayor.
I'm the mayor of Franktown. I wonder if we have a mayor.
I'm sure you do.
You know what? I'm going to look it up. I might run for mayor. I just want the title.
According to LinkedIn, job seekers can also find available positions.
Major Mayor Mark Major. You're Triple M.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently. Another money
I wonder if we do have a mayor.
Of course you do.
Why do you say that?
Well, you have that or you have a city planner.
Fisher Investments is a fiduciary obligated to put clients
No, we have no government, bro.
standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you
I'm in the Wild West out here, Jack.
like the rest of us?
We have no government.
What's up, Jack?
Fisher Investments tailors
How about
portfolios to
that?
meet each client's goals
No
and needs.
cops, no
You do
nothing.
sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
You guys only got 99 people in the town.
Yeah, you know why? That's why our fucking taxes are so low.
So what's in it?
Well, usually the mayors and those little ones aren't even paid, or they're paid very minimal.
When it comes to
Let
helping
me tell you something, man.
retirement,
I might run as mayor, even though we don't have one.
FisherInvestments.com.
You know what? I'll just delegate myself as mayor.
Just take the title.
I'll get a shirt.
Franktown? He's not even in Franktown anymore.
Well, Mark isn't. Yeah, see, I wonder if you can be mayor with not living in Franktown. Hey, remember I was right on that. That's a lunch right there. Yes, I was. Okay, I will bet you $100 that you do not live in the city of Franktown.
I live in Franktown. I will bet you $100.
Your address
But there is no
Franktown.
city of Franktown. There is no city.
Yes, there is. Yes, there
It's
is.
not incorporated.
It's let's see here.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's unincorporated, right?
Well, then it's not a
So
fucking
it's a community.
Yeah, it's an enclave. I mean, there's no official fucking place called that.
It's Franktown.
It's a town of Franks.
It is official.
More than 400 people have assisted with the cleanup. The Downtown Denver Partnership is looking for more volunteers to help with the cleanup in the business district areas downtown. That's the latest. I'm Kathy Walker.
And guess what?
Impact traffic.
We were the first county seat of Douglas County.
Freeway system. Let's go south of town.
You know,
Really?
Make all those kids that all
Did I
people
see
that
that?
were arrested,
You reading? Go ahead.
what they should do is all the people that were arrested, make them clean up.
Back in town. Got a crash off highway on the
I don't
Don't
think
send
they.
them to jail, make them clean up.
I don't think they do a very good job, Doc. That's the only thing. If Doc said they should make all the people who got arrested clean up
Except for jail settings.
Yeah, that'll happen.
weather forecast. Could be a slight chance of afternoon storms today. Hot, though, with a high near 90. Right now, mostly cloudy and 79. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
Lowe's is working harder than ever to help pros get the job done with a dedicated team of associates who only serve pros.
I take my test today, too, later on.
Franktown was the first county seat of Douglas County, serving the role from 1961 until 1863, until they found out, until they knew better.
And they don't have and they're not a city. They're not a city, they're not a town, they're not a village.
It's Franktown. It's got to be a town.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course it's a town. The fucking name is Franktown.
Yeah, I know. I just realized that. What the fuck do I know?
What's our census say? Does it say whatever you're reading what the census is?
Your census?
I think we got under 500.
99.
Well, Mark, you're so far away from there. You're so far away from there, though.
As of the census of 2000, there were 99 people. That's 2000, though.
We're on, baby.
Okay.
Here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What weird times we're going through. And if I can do nothing but, let's say, have a place where we can all gather and get help and exchange information on liars, cheats, and ripoffs, and just a haven, really. I mean, let's do that. If you have a problem, a question or complaint, if you need help, call us. We were talking to people about their problems and solving a lot of them. Vicky wants to talk about getting her house painted, so we put on Steve from Star Quality Painting to talk to her because she needs some basic information. And again, that one guy that was starting his business, Mark, he hung up before we could get to him. And I do want to address that because there are just times people buy themselves a bad job. So we'll address that because I don't want to let people think we forgot, but he had hung up. I don't know if we have his information, Daphne, but if we do, we could call him back. But if not, Vicky, your turn. What's going on with you, Vicky?
Hi. I just purchased my first home by myself.
Cool.
And I need a painter, and I heard you say you had someone named Steve.
Well, we have painters on referral list, and Steve at Star Quality's been with me a very, very long time. He's a good guy. Vicky, I want to ask a couple questions. Did you have your home inspected and all of that and protect yourself? Yes. Okay. Yes. Where your home is in the Thornton area, and and did you have more than paint you needed done? Do you have a whole bunch of stuff to get done?
Well, no, not a lot, but I need like some type of a handyman. If you have names of, guys in this area.
Well, we can help you with all of that at referralist.com. But let's talk about the painting. What questions did you have?
It's just inside, and it's a small home.
Okay.
Only 1337 square feet, but I need like my living room has vaulted ceilings, bedroom, and another bedroom, and like a dining room, just interior paint.
Okay.
Done.
And what did you want to know, like price range for getting that done?
Actually, just good quality people I can trust.
Well, this is the Star Quality Painting. You defined them. Hey, Steve, the painter, if you're listening, may I talk to you about this?
Yeah, I've been listening.
So how do you charge when it comes to interior small houses like that?
The best way to do it is just go by the house, take a look at what she's up against, and if she does need minor drywall repairs, we do that. Any type of interior trim needs to be replaced, we also do that.
Perfect, I see that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the trends of, do people have different color rooms anymore, or do they have the same color all throughout, or do they have accent walls? What's the trend?
All of the above.
Oh.
A lot of times we'll paint the ceilings. Just a white, an off-white. Then we'll do cream color or grays on the walls. Woodwork will stay white, and we do accent walls. So we kind of keep it down to accent walls because it overwhelms you if you do too dark of a color in the room. You'll just take it over. So
yeah, I've noticed, Steve, through the years, wall texturing and faux finishes were so popular. And then they kind of got lighter, and then they went away, and now they're coming back a little. Where is it right now as far as fashion?
Well, so far as faux painting, that's more of a artwork than anything else. You really have to know what you're doing.
Maybe I'm not talking about painting as much as I am like the faux kind of finish to make it look like a light plaster or make it look like a trowel, that kind of thing. Texturing.
Yeah, the trial finish drywall. Yeah, we've done that. We've done knockdown texture, orange pill. It's just all the technique, and we got the tools to do that also.
Do you remember how they used to lay up like silk rags or something, and part of them would be stiff in the walls, and that was a.
We've got butcher paper. You ever seen that, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Mark, if you remember, I think we repaired a little bit inside your office.
What about?
He did. Of course he did.
Okay. What about wallpaper? Is wallpaper still popular?
Not really. We used to hang wallpaper back in the 80s, and again, wallpaper it was a trend. I'm taking a lot of it off the walls now.
Oh.
Removing it.
Okay. So anyway, did you have any specific questions, Vicki, for Steve the Painter at Star Quality Painting?
And no, Vicki, he is extremely reasonable on pricing.
Yeah, if he could come out and look at it and give me a bid, that would be perfect, because I'm not actually living in the house. I'm still in the house that I have. My son is going to buy it from me.
Oh,
so I'm just going to have this work done before I move in, because it's literally 1.5 miles from where I live.
That's good. That's a good way of doing it. In fact, get your carpets done right after that, too, and all of that stuff. Excellent. Hey, Vicki, Steve the Painter's number is 303-948-8765. That's starqualitypainting.com. Now,
Tom, he just did my entire garage as well.
Inside or out? Oh, it's inside, of course, because you have a steel finish.
Yeah, and fixed all the drywall, everything. No. I mean that other garage.
Oh, your garage. Okay, because you had the floor done, and now you had the walls done, so that's pretty cool.
That's right.
I love good-looking garages. I think that's imperative. I don't know why people think garages are an afterthought. Sometimes they're the first thing people see. And
I agree.
I hate junky garages and old, broken-down garages, and I hate studs in a garage, open studs.
I remember that big RV garage you had in Parker. Man, was that gorgeous.
It was fun, man, because I had the workstation, then I had a place to put that.
In-store, the horses could run around inside.
Yeah, the arena. Yeah, I loved it. And the thing is if you can, it always pays to do the lowest maintenance you can. And that's why, like, Mark, with that steel finish you have, that you'll never have to paint that on the outside. And then on the inside, on your barn. I don't know what you did on your actual, not barn, but your big RV
it's insulated,
garage.
And I got a furnace coming in.
Okay. Now, what did you do for the walls on the inside, like the big walls?
I did not do anything. The kind of insulation they used is like this big puffy, like.
Yeah, I know. And then it has a finished white. It has a finished white side. Right. I see. I know that. You always have to be careful with those that they don't puncture and stuff. Now, Rick's got a comment on Colin Kaepernick. And I think he's reacting to what I said. What I had said was, we all agree that peaceful protesting, we all have a right to peacefully protest. But then I said, what happens, though, when people do peacefully protest? Sometimes, basically, he lost his entire career for peacefully protesting, and people...
But he was affecting his employer.
But how was he affecting his employer?
Because the NFL was getting complaints left and right from a lot of diehards. They don't like this stuff going on.
But, okay, and this is what's funny. Who cares? He wasn't doing anything to hurt anyone. He really wasn't. And again, I'm not... Look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even remember at the time the exact...
Who was the basketball coach we've had that argument about? The The guy that was using the N-word or something, and they took his entire team
No,
away
but that
from
was a whole different. That was a whole different topic, by the way. And
Sterling, and I've always said this guy, he hurt the NBA, is why they got rid of him. And Tom, you kept going,
Mark,
but that's his own opinion. That has nothing to do with anything
Mark,
else.
this is so weird and so out of what we're talking about. It's a whole different topic you've introduced. What I said, because you brought it up, let me clarify so I don't have you putting words in my mouth. What I said was, this guy was an evil, disgusting creep. No one is disagreeing with that. But what he did inside his own condo was start talking about black people in a very disgusting way. Yes, it was disgusting, but here's what I'm saying, and I hope people get this point. He did not know he was being recorded, and that woman went into the privacy of his home and recorded basically his thoughts. But this is something you have to keep in mind. He never ever discriminated with pay or with he never acted out his hateful, disgusting ways. So once that private in-home belief system was exposed, he lost everything. What I said was that there could be many, many, many other sports franchise owners and business owners that feel exactly the same way. It's just that they did not get caught on a recording. So what I said was, it is kind of unfair for someone to have a thought and to be punished for it if they never act on it. Do we agree with those thoughts? We don't agree with those thoughts. But what I'm saying is,
the brand was my only point. I know you don't think that way. That's not what I was saying.
But in my heart, if I had a thought in my heart, if I had a thought in my heart and never acted on it, and someone found out that's how I think, not act, but how I think that that is dangerous territory. And what I said was this: if truly you're going to judge people on how they think, then you ought to have a test for anyone who's going to own a sports franchise team. Now, once it was published, I agree with you, Mark, it hurt the NFL knowing there was an owner like that. But if you think about it, it was a private thought. And I don't care who you are, and unless you can tell me you've always had pure thoughts, we have had thoughts that if they were exposed, we would be ruined. And I'm not saying it's good to have those thoughts, but it's a damn lie to say you've never had an errant thought. If you don't act on hate, if you don't act on prejudice, if you don't act on it, what the hell difference does it make what is deep-seated within my brain? Because God forbid us if we start going into people's thoughts and telling them they have to not only act a certain way, but think a certain way. That is disgusting, and I don't think there's anyone in the world that wants that. You know, because I truly believe there are people among us right now that have such vile, vulgar thoughts against certain things because we are now supposed to hold everything neutral and holy. And you know what? If you act that way, good for you. Because I don't think people should be discriminated against. I don't think so. We are all of the human race. And it doesn't matter what color they are, and it doesn't matter what behavior they have, so long as they're not hurting people. But for God's sakes, I never, ever, ever, ever want to live in a world where my innermost thoughts are examined and I'm told how they must be molded. Because it doesn't work.
Agree, but I don't want to live in a world to where
Got a break soon?
It makes my company look bad and I can't get them the hell out of there.
Well, okay. So the thing is then, Mark, what you do is have a test. Ask people, have an interview.
Just when people are morons like that guy, leaving messages to their housekeeper, whatever the hell he did.
He was talking.
You should have the right to get him out.
He was just talking to his girlfriend inside his condo. That's all he was doing. And I'm not saying he was a good guy, so I don't want to be mistaken for that. But he was expressing his innermost thoughts. And what I'm saying is, had the guy acted on it, had he done something wrong, he would be a disgusting fool. And then once you find out what he thinks, you can choose never to hang around with him again. But I don't think people should be penalized for their thoughts. That's all. I got more coming up. We got away from the whole fucking issue. I forget, what did the woman
ask about, because that's what...
No, Rick has a comment on Colin Kaepernick.
Ask Rick if he still wants to make a comment.
Yeah, Tom, Suzanne.
Yes.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, Miles was asking about your Franktown house. So he heard his dad talking on the show.
Yeah.
Franktown mayor, so I showed him your house on Zillow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, who put the putting green in the front yard? Was that you?
Yeah, we had the putting green. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That thing is cool. It looks gorgeous on Zillow.
Ask him about the
Duct Pros is the strongest truck mounted vacuum you can have for sucking out the dirt in your ductwork. And guess what? You get the best when you call them, because not only that, they will do a complete antimicrobial fogging for the asking, free for Martino listeners. That's Duct Pros. Get your home done. The average home is starting at just $290. Seriously. And additional vents are only $15 above 10. Martino listeners, free antimicrobial fogging. DuctProsColorado.com, 303-578-3510. 303-578-3510. That's Duct Pros Colorado. Also, you want a loan? How do you stop the best, the ideal home loans? Why go anywhere else? But you should shop. They want you to. Why? Because their rates are usually lower. How is that? Because they are loaning their own money. Yeah, they have their own money to loan. They are a banker. That means they do the underwriting. Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. And that's why they can do the interest rate guarantee. Whatever interest rates do, they will refinance you free of charge if they go up over the next 2 years. So you're always protected, because every time you close, you get a 2-year guarantee. And let's not forget the custom term loans. Any term you want to get the lower rate, but you don't have to go all the way back to 30 years. That's Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Yeah, I didn't realize that. So anyway, I wonder who's living in that right now.
Oh. Hey, Suzanne, you still there?
I wonder who's living in that right now.
Oh, they're not there. Nobody's there. They left.
We've been telling folks that we do kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, even replacement windows and doors, right? And that we treat them right and done right, right? Of course we have that. Okay. So
Hey, what was the name of the show with Tiger? With that Tiger? You guys remember? Tiger.
doing just that.
Oh, this is a good
What
update.
was that show with the Tiger? Tiger King. Oh, Tiger King.
What about Tiger?
Oh, did you hear? In Tiger King, they just gave his place to that lady in Florida.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah?
You had an airstrip on your property?
Yes, for my little, for my sport plane and my helicopter.
Is Miles going to buy it?
No, but I want to buy it.
I bought that fucking thing for less than what my house is worth right now, if you can believe that shit.
I what?
You could have bought it for less than...
That thing sold for, I think, 1.1 or 1.2.
1.2 in, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We could have bought that for less than what my house is worth now.
This money's got real value. You can
Now, I bet it's worth $3 fucking million now.
Well, it was, when I had it, it was appraised for 4.
Yep, and it sold for 1.2.
So limited and priced so low. You can
Hey, you see...
Look, here it is. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
No, wait till you see the aerial. Where? Look at this. This was my first home. This is in Franktown. I had a five-car garage. This thing I built from the ground.
It looks like my cabin.
I built this from the ground up. I know. Look at, I had it in the back.
That was in Franktown?
This is my barn.
What a place.
Look at my arena, my RV garage.
Holy shit.
Look, like here I had a, wait, it's for sale. Mark, it's for sale right now, it says.
Oh, is it? How much?
It's been on there 97 days. 2.5 million. 2.5
How
million.
much did you get for it? I mean, did you sell it?
It's been on there for 97 days.
How many square feet is that?
It was 14.
Wow.
Hey, did you...
It's amazing.
Fox Creek Trail. Fox Creek Estate. I developed the subdivision. But look at this deck. So this thing And it's all, I mean, I just...
Did you say in Tiger King they're giving away his
and I had a
whole tiger complex to that lady? To that lady and stuff that has that place in Florida? They're giving all the Tiger Kings, which he's in jail, of course, but that other guy took it over. They're giving them
I just, when I
90 days, I think, or 120 days to get out of there.
That is amazing.
They're giving it to that lady. You know, that killed her husband?
It was nice. It was nice because it's on 50 acres, too.
I think because of the lawsuits and stuff against...
I had 35 acres. My other one had 50. I put all this Italian railing in. I had a putting.
I just heard Ross was talking about it. That's where I heard it from.
Wow. God, I've had some beautiful homes. I've had
Why'd
some
you sell it?
10 seconds, we're back.
We're divorced.
10 seconds.
Well, not really. I was moving and then divorced, but anyway. Hey, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier. I wish the guy that had a comment on Colin Kaepernick called in because we got sidetracked. But anyway, we were talking about your problems, questions, complaints, and that's where we'll continue. We also have CBD with us, realcbdthatworks.com. That's Panacea Life Sciences. And I also want to mention that they have a promo code. Now, Jamie, the promo code for CBD that works, realcbdthatworks.com, which is Panacea Life Sciences. I think it's Tom, right? You put Tom in the promo code, or is it Martino?
Martino.
Oh, okay. Martino gets you 25% off. And that is really cool because it gives you a chance to get introduced to these products at substantial savings. What is the most popular selling item?
The most popular selling item is probably our Fast Extra, which is a mint flavored 75 milligram tablet.
Someone mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's what someone asked about those 75s. Because they're chewable and they're sweet, and they look good, you know, in your hand like a sugar cube, can you feed them to a horse for lameness?
Absolutely. I mean, we actually developed that initially for horses, and we saw such great effects when we did a limited clinical trial on horses for lameness and anxiety that we redeveloped it for people.
Oh, so you do have it. Is it an actual equine product you sell?
Yeah, if you go on the website, you can go to the pet section. You can see our dog products as well as our equine product. And
that has to be great because you're getting the anti-inflammatory, you're getting some pain-killing properties, you're also getting anti-anxiety. I'm just curious. I'm curious how that would do at horse shows. If they would, I don't think they should disqualify you for that, but who knows? I mean, they have their own rules. But in any case, didn't you say it's not even detectable in the blood as far as THC, right?
That's correct. So there's no THC in either one of that Fast Extra or the equine product.
Okay.
So
you know what amazes me, guys, is how many emails I get saying that it helps with anxiety. I never knew that. Period. End of story.
Oh, it's so
but
cool.
I swear I get 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah, yeah. And let's go to John Jones now. And that's, by the way, realcbdthatworks.com. Martino in the promo code to get 25% off. By the way, John John is with Integra Insurance, by the way. They do health insurance. We love these guys, but they're calling about something else. They want to give a shout out. Go ahead, John.
They called in looking for a painter. I'd strongly recommend Steve.
Yeah, at Star Quality Painting.
Front door system. And it's all wood. And let's just say it had weathered over the years.
Yeah.
And it absolutely looks gorgeous now. And I got a chance to meet his wife and his daughter, and just great people.
They are good people. And what else did you have done?
One other one real quick, and this is Mark, Master Rooter.
Yeah.
We actually, in our commercial building, we have our furnace system had gone out. And we have 2-zone type heating.
Yeah.
Freezing downstairs, hot as the dickens upstairs.
Yeah.
It's because the damper had gone bad.
Oh, wow.
And we called Master Rooter, and they actually sent 2 people out here, and they just got everything, so it works fantastic.
Good.
Great guys.
Thank you, John. And by the way, the health insurance business, what do you do when it's not open enrollment? Are you guys just sitting around?
No way. Not this time of year.
What do you do?
Qualifying events.
Yeah.
With people turning 26, people getting, divorces, whatever.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people who are moving into the state that we can still help. And the other thing, of course, is, we're real big on is Medicare.
Yes.
So we're helping people that are turning 65 and also people that might want to change their Medicare supplement programs they already have, because you can change that any time.
Oh, that's good to know.
What does that mean? What does he mean by turning 26, John? What does that have to do with anything?
I said 65.
No, you did say 26 before that.
Oh, 26. Okay, you're talking about health insurance.
Yeah.
They have to come off their parents' health care plan at that point if they've been on a group plan.
Oh, literally on their...
And they don't have to wait for the next enrollment period.
No, they can qualify right away. That's a qualifying event.
Very good. And by the way, Integra Insurance, good people, and it's 303-466-5500. IntegraInsurance.com. Whether it's open enrollment or in a qualifying event, you got to use these guys. You don't pay any more. It's just ridiculous not to. Now, Cliff, coming back, Cliff wants to talk to Mark, or wants to talk an update for Mark on an accident. Cliff, give us a hint. What was this about? Cliff, what was this about, this accident? You called last week?
Yes, I did.
What was it?
I was reared in by a company truck.
Oh, yes, good. Okay, we'll get an update on that coming right up. He was rear-ended by a company truck, wanted to know what he can do. 303-713-TALK, more coming right up.
Clear, 1 minute until Joe Lazara and Simply Floors.
Thanks.
That's the one that you had called, Mark's on the phone. He had called on it, and they said they took total ownership of it.
They did.
Yeah. But I guess the big thing is he never said he had any medical issues. So you told him to go to the doctor. Yes.
I can't believe you.
What's that?
I just can't believe you.
You gotta
let a
believe
good
it.
accident go to waste.
6th Avenue approaching Sims on the west side, and slow speeds in westbound Route 270 between Quebec and Vasquez.
Don't be stirring us stuff up.
The weather forecast could be sunny today.
That was pretty good radio there, gentlemen.
79. Your impact traffic and weather.
Always.
6:30.
This is
Right about him slamming Bellagio. You realize he said he has the power to displace him?
What? What is that? Was he saying? I didn't hear him.
I didn't know that. The governor has the power to get rid of a fucking mayor. I did not know that.
Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney I hope you never need. Joe Lazara for DUI, shoplifting, assault, when things do not go perfectly. Listen, a lot of people are like in a weird space right now, right? If something goes wrong, whether you were deliberate, accidental, or you just want to get through it, you need a criminal defense attorney with these kinds of things. Don't let it ruin the rest of your whole life, right? Joe Lazara is compassionate. He also does discounts for Martino listeners with large cases and flat rate pricing in all cases, so you know the price of everything up front. The price won't change, and also you don't get nickeled and dimed every time you talk to him. Joe Lazara. LazaraLegal.com. LAZZARA. Legal.com. 303-429-6200. That's 303-429-6200. Joe Lazara. You know, an easy way to buy floor coverings is right at home. Buddy and Karen Mitchell and their team will visit you in your home with all the samples you need to get a really good idea of what's out there, like LVT, waterproof LVT. Luxury vinyl floors are great. Also, they have real stone, they have engineered wood, they have solid wood, laminates, whatever you need. SimplyFloorsInc.com at tremendous discounts and great installers. That's 303-456-4660, or make your own appointment at SimplyFloorsInc.com.
Dan, did you see Trump's tweet? He put, listen to this, man. The governor refuses to accept my offer of a dominating National Guard. NYC is ripped to pieces. Likewise, his brother Frito's ratings are down 50%. I fucking love this man.
He got Frito too, huh?
He fucking threw him right out there. Yesterday was a bad day for the Cuomo brothers.
The Cuomo brothers, Trump, you know, because he calls him Frito, his brother Frito.
Yeah, I love that though. What a fucking great tweet.
He did it, like, again, people don't realize you get mad at something, people are going to do that. You know, he got mad at that one person who called him Frito. Now everybody calls him Frito.
Is this Trump?
Yeah, well, he does that, but I mean, everybody calls him Frito.
That is the best fucking tweet though.
That's racist.
No, it's not.
It's racist.
What does Frito mean?
It's a potato chip. It's a corn chip.
Like Guido. It's like you're saying like you're a Guido.
No. It's actual name. Frito's a name. No, Frito is the name of the guy in what was the movie with the Godfather? The Godfather.
I know, but why call him Fredo? Why?
Because Fredo was the slow brother.
Oh, that's right, because Fredo, yeah, not only that, he got really upset and yelled at somebody for making fun of Italians or some mafia shit or something.
Hey, Mark, they call him Frito, but his real name is Mr. Earls.
Who's Mr. Earls?
Don't you remember that song? They often call me Speedo, but my real name is Mr. Earl. Tom remembers that song.
No, I don't.
No, I don't remember that at all.
Really?
No.
You got a better memory.
That was a big song in the 60s.
Fredo. That's racist.
Do you really think that? No, you're kidding.
No, you know what I mean. It's like calling me Goomba.
No, it's like calling, okay, if somebody had a bad name, like say, what's a bad name? Bob. We go, hey, Bob. You know, where Bob was used at.
Yeah, but
really,
his name isn't Fredo, is what I'm saying.
Of course his name is right.
So why call him Fredo?
Because he was the slow guy in The Godfather. What's better, call him Fredo or an asshole?
Either or.
He's just trying to be an idiot.
He was writing up about a bunch of, talking about a bunch of strange shit. He really hasn't overcome that virus yet.
Who hasn't?
Oh, really?
Cuomo, he says he hasn't felt the same, you know, the temperature's down. He doesn't think he's contagious or any shit like that, but he says, I just don't feel the same.
This is Chris Cuomo, right?
His brother, yeah.
And those fucking two are in good shape, man. Or at least they appear to be.
Yeah. But you don't know what underlying conditions they may have either.
No, not at all.
I don't know.
Nor do we really know what underlying conditions this thing attacks.
Right.
You know, the only good news about these, the picketing and rioting and everything is, honest to God, man, it's almost like the virus isn't around the last few days.
Why is that good? Oh, we're getting back here, Tom.
I don't know why.
Give me a...
Now, Cliff said he has an update. He was talking about being rear-ended by a company truck. He didn't know what to do. So where did you leave it with us, and what happened since then, sir?
I'm sorry, I missed that question there.
Okay, what did you call about originally, and what advice did we give, and what happened since then?
The other company, Tom, gave him a old insurance card that was out of date. So when he called up from the insurance company, they said, hey, we do not insure these people anymore. Then he called us last week.
Now, did Deputy Doc do this one? Oh, Dano. Mark did. Okay, Mark. So you called him and said what?
I called up the company. Well, first I talked to Cliff at length, and I called up the company, and the company simply switched to another policy. I talked to the general manager. It's a fairly large company, by the way. I believe, and we'll get to Cliff because I really don't know the newest update, but they definitely had insurance. I verified that. They also verified that it was their driver's fault. They took full responsibility to me. And then they also said because it is an old vehicle and only worth a few $100. Remember this one, Tom?
Yup, I remember. You could hardly ever get another vehicle.
And it's all, he's got this thing in immaculate condition. He's customized it, everything. So they agreed that they would pay a body shop to fix it, even if it goes over the value, and they would pay out of pocket. And they told me they'd give him a couple $100 too, and a rental car while it was in the body shop. But I don't know where it's at now. That was kind of where I left it off last week.
All right. So where does it stand now, Cliff? What has happened? Anything?
Yes. Sorry I missed your call yesterday, Mark. But anyway, I just met with the guy this morning, and he looked at the car and then immediately asked if I would set a truck as a trade-off. I'm not a truck person, so no. Anyway, his mechanic, I assume his personal mechanic, looked at the car, estimated 1 week to 10 days worth of work. And I have to wait for them to call me back within 2 to 3 weeks to proceed.
Are they going to fix it for you?
Yeah, you kind of...
Are they going to fix it? Did they agree to fix it for you, Cliff?
Yes, he's going to give me a call back in 2 to 3 weeks once he get all the parts he need. And it's going to happen, I would assume.
Okay.
Oh, if they say it is, I've got no doubt there. Are they going to give you a rental car, though, or let you borrow a...
Yes, I'm sorry about that. He asked me what kind of a car I want. I just assumed the old big car. Anyway, he said, how about a Vet or a Porsche? I don't know what if he was playing around.
Should have said Ferrari.
Like it.
Yeah, so wait a minute. This is for the temporary car, right?
Yeah, just while they're fixing it.
Until mine is completed.
But this sounds like a pretty stand-up company. It sounds like a stand-up company to me. So
it is.
That's cool, Cliff, because what's really bad with property damage that we've heard on this show time and time again, and this is for anyone listening with older cars, when you have a car in mint condition and you say, well, it's in mint condition, and you really need to be careful because you're not going to be able to get the money out of that car you think you will in an accident. And there's not much you can do about it except put a collision policy on it. And believe it or not, a collision policy on those old cars are not that much. Or you can do what's called a stated value policy. Now, that's really if you have something worth a damn. I mean, if you say, listen, I don't care what you say it's worth. I know it's worth this. I put a lot of money into it. You get what's called stated value policy. The other alternative is just collision coverage. But again, that's going to go to market value, not necessarily to a specific kind of car that's in cherry condition. So consider doing that for yourself. In fact, I'd love to get Compass Insurance Group on to talk about collision coverage on older cars. Because, more and more it's becoming important.
I don't think it's worth it, though, do you?
Well, that's what I want to find out. I don't know. If it's, I just would like to know what those premiums are, just for the hell of it. If they could give us some quotes on that, it would be fun. 303...
And then the other question.
Yeah.
How about if you wanted to go the opposite on stated value? Let's say your car's paid off. It's a 2015 Hyundai Santa Fe. And let's say a blue book's out at $17,000. Can I actually insure it for $14,000 and save money?
I would love to ask that, actually. Hold on. I would love to ask that. I guess you could, and then... I don't know, but let's talk about it, and then you don't have to keep that stated value if someone else's fault, because that's not your insurance. So if it's someone else's fault, you can still go for real value. Let's find out about that. All right, so, David, what's going on with you, sir? David.
Hey Tom, I saw on television there was an ad for a company that comes out and services your central air unit before you turn it on, and it referenced your name.
Yeah, it's I did a TV commercial for Fix It 24/7 for the complete cleaning and tune-up for $39.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, Fix It 24/7. It's 720-526-3939. Did you have a specific question about it?
No, I've lived in this house for 15 years. I never had replaced the central air. I'm thinking it might be coming to the end of its life, so I'd like to have someone come out. And
that's only gonna be $39 for new customers. And here's the deal for sure for anyone who has an HVAC unit of any kind. When these people say they're going to come to your house for a certain amount to do a checkup and all that, make sure it truly does involve a real cleaning, and if not, just go out and get a real cleaning. Real cleanings can extend it actually can really, honest to God, extend the life of your AC and furnace by as much as 30 to 40%. If you let the dirt accumulate, it's bad. Now, changing filters is not enough. And I'm not saying you need a cleaning every year either, by the way. But you should have it cleaned periodically. I would say at the outside 3 years. And have it thoroughly cleaned. That's
you
the
need
burners.
to get that condenser clean too, man.
Yeah, and the blower motors and the fins and all of that. It just keeps it running in tip-top shape, and it really works. All right, we got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Can I go first with my two?
Now, Impact Trap.
Yeah, hold on, I'll swap them out.
Hello? Yes. As the lunch hour drive continues across town, got a few trouble spots to watch out for. Off highway, got a crash on the southbound side of Wadsworth, just south of Quincy and Stanford. Police are on the scene if you can't avoid the area for now. Medical call northbound I-25 before Happy Canyon.
All right, Tom, you are coming up after traffic.
Gotcha. Got them both.
Got some construction in town on the westbound side of
Art Granite, get down fast, folks.
Side, and slow speeds on westbound I-270 between Quebec and Vasquez to watch out for as well. The weather forecast could be sunny today, a chance of afternoon storms, a high near 90, right now cloudy and 79. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
Lowe's is working harder than ever to help pros get the job done with it.
All right, 10 seconds, Art Granite, and get found fast.
They stock the top-rated brands you need, offer curbside loading, and can even deliver right to the job site. Service like that is why Lowe's is the new home for pros.
TheArtOfGranite.com is the website for The Art of Granite, and you will love the way Mitch does business at The Art of Granite. First of all, you get all of your materials at wholesale. You tear out and haul away free, and that's a really big deal. Plus, they do the bathroom vanity free when you have the kitchen done. And you can get prices on the phone. He's a direct stone importer. That means a direct stone importer with wholesale materials. You get them cheaper. And you get any kind you want. You can get quartz, granite, or other natural stone. Call for a price on the phone. 303-386-5919. That's 386-5919. You know, we have found during this pandemic, one thing is for absolutely sure, a website is critical to your business. If you have a website, why don't you find out free of charge how it's performing? Listen, even if you don't want to hire an ongoing service like Get Found Fast, they are the ones to call for a free analysis. They will show you the flaws in your website or how it shows up in search engines, and if you decide to hire them, fine. But you have nothing to lose with this free analysis. Get Found Fast. It's who we use. GetFoundFast.com. 303-952-4900.
Nightly News with Lester Holt, covering the coronavirus pandemic with facts over fear. In a time of crisis, turn to the trusted TV news anchor in America. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other.
Man, I just loved when John Jones, if you were just listening, they came out and they basically corrected a problem in his commercial building with the air conditioner. Now, what he neglected to say, and he told me this a few weeks ago, he told me he had another company come out and they wanted him to replace the entire AC unit.
Oh, wow.
Master Rooter went out there and basically just fixed it.
You know who that was?
For a heck
Oh,
of a
that's
lot
smart.
less than what it
What the other company was wanting
But
to
if you need
replace
good
everything.
plumbers,
He was probably on the list. John uses them.
They don't charge a trip charge in the Denver metro area.
But you know, it's going to be real easy
Military or seniors.
for companies
That's on
to
top
be
of their already low prices.
rather
And they even have a kick-in
fixed
discount for single
Right.
income families or
online.
plumbers
You're
in
alive.
here and have great
Advertising.
prices. You're going to need a plumber
Well, no,
at
plus
some
an
point.
enormous
Write this
fucking
number
overhead.
down. 720-434-3400.
I think that is established.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter which one.
Tom, just about those vents. She was working with somebody at.
Gentlemen, I got Excel here.
Okay. Okay, we'll see out.
Later.
He's done.
Anyway, the person she's working with at Action Appliance doesn't come in until 2:30. So I'll call her after 2:30 and give you follow-up in the morning.
So Mark is totally out. Excel from that.
Hopefully, God, we don't have any shit.
What if you didn't have to worry about the stock market in retirement? This is Linda Gardner of Blue Heron Capital.
You worry about the stock market in your retirement plan?
I have it. I don't use it. I mean, when I say it.
You worry about it?
Do I worry about it?
I don't worry about
That's
it.
a great question.
I mean, it is what it is.
I
right?
watch it. No, I do watch it because I trade stocks in it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I should just give it to
Save you money. Call Advanced
maybe I
Mudjacking,
get it back up.
303-424-9441 or advancedmudjacking@yahoo.com.
New innovations
Well, I'm not
in
living on
electronics function are exciting, especially when you see them work for yourself. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I want to tell you today about a new treatment for ED that is giving some great results for our patients.
I got very lucky working with a company that did. Why is that? Pension. Pension and retiree medical. Yeah, paid.
Did you contribute to the pension?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Contribute to the 401k.
So it was just a pension that you get?
Are
Yeah.
not in hospitals, and we always follow proper procedures to keep them clean and sanitary. It's time to treat your ED, and this new medicine could be perfect for you.
It's not huge. It's not huge.
440-7900.
It's
That's
free.
720-440-7900.
In addition to social.
RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
In addition, right.
You'll get a
In
consult,
addition to the
blood
401k.
work,
And the 401k they have.
And if that test dose
Right,
doesn't work in
right.
the office, your visit is free.
Yep.
Your employees and customers have new experts.
Yeah, and they quit doing it. I think when I was 40. So I just got into
Quit doing
it.
what, action?
The pension. Quit contributing to the pensions.
Well stocked with gloves, face masks, hand sanitizer,
Well-
disinfectant wipes, professional cleaning supplies, and PPE. Just a few ways Cintas can help you keep your business safe.
But again, it's not. I probably could live on it, but it would be pretty.
Have you wanted to speak a new language?
You know what?
But thought it would be too difficult?
I work
Then
for
try
Fox.
Babel. Babel starts
They probably
by
have
teaching
one.
you words
No?
and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon,
10 years
you're
later,
practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes,
I get a letter
you'll be speaking
saying
new
what you
language
want
in
us
a
to
few
do
weeks.
with your funds.
Babel is built
Oh.
around
I didn't
real
know I
life.
had them.
It teaches
Okay.
you practical conversations that you will actually use.
$250,000.
Language
Wow.
life.
So that you could have got the money. So they bought you out then.
That's BA.
No.
So you
All I
could
know
have.
is that I left. I never did anything. I got this letter. And then I just rolled into my other stuff. It was so cool.
So a couple years ago, they offered to buy everybody out that had, I think, less than was worth less than 200,000. They offered to buy them out cash. Otherwise, you don't get your pension until you hit 65. Or no, you got to have 85 points. Right.
I don't remember the terms. All I know is that to me it was found money. I forgot all about it.
Right. So they probably went to started paying your pension until you were 65.
Because I hadn't done anything.
Right. It was a premium.
Well, like that guy yesterday, who had a 401k, he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Listen, SaferNet, we talk about. You heard me talk about Get Found Fast and your website and all that. But listen, if you're in business or even a family, like you're living at home with a couple kids, your wife, if you have devices, you can protect them from all kinds of viruses, malware, and ransomware by simply having this run in the background. Plus, it's a virtual private network, so people don't know where you are, they can't trace your IP, and all of your information is encrypted. And get this, it's only $3.99 for each device. If you have 3 or more devices, the price goes down. It's crazy not to do this. Please go to this website. You'll get 44 days free. There's no reason not to try it. You'll see it doesn't slow down your internet, and it's totally private, and you have all the control at your fingertips for your organization. You can restrict the time your kids are online and where they surf, or no restrictions. It's up to you. Safernet.com. Safe, safer. Safernet.com. All right, and remember, free for 44 days. You put Tom in the promo code. You get a free trial, 44 days. So Cliff was not totally finished with his update. Cliff, what did you want to say? They were going to fix your car, give you a loaner. What else did you have to say? I'm sorry, we thought you were done.
I'm sorry, he just hung up.
Do you know what else you wanted to say, Daph?
Nope, he did not tell me.
Why don't you call him back and just ask him, and then we'll see, because I want to make sure he gets everything and that we're taking care of him. Richard, what's going on with you, Richard? Welcome. You have an insurance claim of some kind, I take it? Are you there, Richard?
Richard?
Hello. Yeah, what's going on?
He should be here. I have him up.
Oh, Richard? Maybe he hung up too. I don't know. Sometimes that happens. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. By the way, Richard, if you're listening, you can call back at 303-713-TALK or just call 303-MARTINO. We have another hour to go. Earlier, we talked about stated value insurance. Let's get Compass on in the next hour to talk about that. It's for people with older cars. Let's see what we can do about that. Also, we talked to a guy who wanted to start a coffee shop. Mark's not here to talk about it, but he felt the guy was wasting his money. I kind of do too. Now, that doesn't mean you can't start a business and make money. Unfortunately, because of Starbucks, one of the toughest ways to make money is a coffee shop because of the machine they have built whenever you're competing with that. But it does one other thing, though, that can help you, and that is it puts people in the mindset of a coffee shop.
Tom, didn't he say he was taking over a coffee shop that was already profitable?
11 years. Well, hold on, and that's the thing.
That's what he said.
It was making money.
Right.
Being profitable and making money is two different things.
Well, I think that's what he implied, that it was making money.
Here's the deal. I one time analyzed a company that was so-called making money. First of all, the equipment was old, and they never, ever depreciated it, so he was buying old equipment and was going to have to reinvest. But this is the other thing. The money it was spinning off after employees was nothing more than a job for this person. And in fact, less than a job because his wife was going to work it. So now we have two people working their asses off as owners to do nothing but a half of a normal wage. If you go through a business, one thing people never consider is their own time. They look at the business. You have to put a wage in for yourself and for your wife, if your wife's going to work, or any of your kids. Do not consider it free labor. You're not going to get a true financial picture of the business. Once you put in true labor that you put in and a decent wage, then you can find out if it's spinning off profit. But not until you do that. Another thing many businesses never include, I'm talking about small businesses, in their line items is marketing. If you have a business and you're going to depend on just drive-bys and walk-bys or blue sky from the past, you're going to go downhill. You have to have some kind of marketing budget. So those three things people discount: marketing and salaries. So what they end up doing is buying what's called a bad job. That's what they're buying. They actually, not only a bad job, they don't have paid vacations, and they work too hard for too little. So when you're buying a business, the potential is there, but only if it's first making money. Don't buy a business that's not making money unless you have a secret and immediate way to turn it around. There's a reason it's not making money. And so many people feel, well, that's because of this, this, or this. Then I say this. If it has a lot of things wrong with it that you have to correct, maybe you should just buy or start your own business and not buy one. There's a reason you buy an existing business, and those reasons are going away rapidly. We can talk about that if you want, or anything you want. Give us a call, 303-713-TALK, and then we'll take Cliff. Coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
The difference between buying one and starting one.
Cliff, have Cliff hang around, please.
Yeah, you're saying it's a lot easier to buy one and
like Tom said, it's different parameters that you look at when you're starting a business and when you're buying one.
because of yours, you had to buy all the equipment and everything.
I needed to set up a business plan and get a loan for everything when I started my own practice.
So if you could have bought a place that had all the tables and all the
Well, see, a medical practice is completely different because that's a totally different animal. Because unless that doctor lets you in there for a transition period, there's a good chance you're not going to keep that practice.
Well, depending on the areas you're at, some people are short of doctors.
When I started my own practice, I had worked with somebody else for 2 years.
How the hell? That's hard starting a practice.
It was, but I had some patient
come over.
And in the medical practice,
Did you sell your practice?
What? No. By the time, you know what happened, Tom? The last 2 or 3 years I was in practice, it was very hard to get new patients because the paradigm had shifted, and young patients wanted female doctors.
Female doctors, right?
And so, as my patients got older, it was very hard getting new patients to fill the gap.
Yeah, that's trash.
So I just.
Hey, did you take what do you call it, Medicaid?
No,
you didn't.
I didn't take Medicaid, and the reason I didn't take Medicare was because I thought I was a conscientious doctor and felt that at 65, women did not need a gynecologist.
Oh, really?
They needed a gerontologist or an internal medicine doctor. And if, for some reason, they had a gynecologic problem, they could be referred back to me. But I don't think women over 65 need an annual exam by a GYN. They need someone to manage their hypertension and diabetes, whatever. And what? I thought I was being ethical.
That's what I mean. You are. You're giving them. You are giving them the truth.
Exactly.
And just like it's weird.
But like say, medical equipment is so hard to get rid of anyway, right?
Well, we just after 40 years, you just amortize it. And when it's not worth anything by the time you give it away.
And who do you sell it to?
Well, we gave it away.
Oh, right.
And we got some, tax breaks for it. But I had bought 2 practices of doctors that retired.
You did?
Well, one got sick.
Well, what are you buying?
You're buying their patients, their patient load. So with one doctor, I gave him X amount of money for all his patients. And he had 6 or 7, I remember, surgeries set up already that was scheduled that I did. So those 6 surgeries more than paid me what I paid him in practice.
Really?
So everything was gravy.
So really you didn't pay him not astronomical?
No.
Okay.
And then the other guy, he got sick and he just retired overnight. And what I did, for the first visit of any patient that his practice gave me, the first time I saw them, I gave him 20%.
Okay.
So I only would pay him if the patient came to see me.
Gotcha.
And then if he came in to see me the second time, it was
all yours.
So in both cases, I thought I came out like a bandit.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way to do it.
So it was.
So did you sell your patient?
No, but like I said, by the time that I retired, most of my patients were, older.
Okay.
And
out of the childbearing.
Yeah.
56 Boulder employees are being laid off. 68 temp jobs.
No, it'd be buying it, like say a coffee shop. Holy cow. Can you imagine if you would have bought it 4 months ago?
Wow.
You'd have nothing.
Right.
You know, it's. I think a lot of people do think a restaurant, a coffee shop, a bar. See, I wanted that guy to come on there because Mark and Suzanne went and looked at a guy who was going to buy a bar. People think this was like 2.5 years ago. But you know, it sounds pretty neat. Yeah, we own a bar. That's got to be the worst freaking business.
My friend's sister and brother-in-law owned the Marston Inn.
What is that?
It's a big, like a bar and up in Marston. It's a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
He said it was a fucking money machine.
Really?
For Mexican food, rice, beans.
So it's cheap.
It's cheap. And he said, you sell a margarita for $7.50, it costs you 25 cents worth of goods. He said it was it was like printing money.
Right. So and that's Morrison's a very attractive place because you got Red Rocks right there.
And it had a long history. It was a destination.
But the thing on a bar though is the fights. Now maybe they close down and stuff, but I mean owning a bar and stuff can be very liable.
Yeah, but in this case it was a family place, and he said like I said, $7.50 for a margarita that cost you 25 or 30 cents.
It's not costing more than 25 cents, really.
Not much. It's so cheap.
Okay.
To make drinks.
I guess you can just put you can use cheap tequila.
Yeah. You're not getting top of the line tequila.
Right. Oh, the thing about it in a margarita, can you really tell? I don't know.
No.
This is
Or is this that?
New York.
You're stuck in the coals here, Tom. No.
I can't make it louder. You can't.
Is it because you got your?
You know, let them protest, let them walk, but the looting and the rioting is just. I
all the
don't
time.
understand.
Yep. I totally agree.
I'm telling you, if they shoot one looter, that'll stop the looting.
I don't know. I don't think they even listen to the news that somebody got shot. These are stupid people.
No, these are smart people because they're just.
Oh, these guys there, right there. But I remember the one in Denver. I showed it. The guy was trying to break a window and he couldn't break a window in the car.
Okay, and that's nice. So now he's fixing the car, they're giving you a loaner, plus they're giving you cash. Those are good people. And you had an older car, and that's why this comes up with Brian Burns at Compass Insurance Group. Brian, you know, I know that the popular thought is don't have collision coverage on a piece of garbage, on an older car. Well, obviously on a really old car, but what happens if it's the only transportation you have and you keep it in really good shape even though it's old? Can't you have collision coverage if you wanted, or would it not pay in that they would severely curtail the settlement? How would it work?
Well, yeah, and that's the difficulty. You're trying to weigh that, because that happens frequently, Tom, like you said, where people are like, I understand it's not worth a lot, but I don't have anything if I get into an accident. And in those cases, I take a look at that, and I do a lot of times carry collision coverage if it's an inexpensive endorsement on a vehicle that maybe doesn't have a ton of worth. But
like, how much could it be on a 99 car or a 2000 car?
Man, I mean, yeah, here's what I usually do. I go on to Kelley Blue Book. That's not what insurance companies use. They use a program where it goes around and finds how much the cars have sold for, like vehicles.
Yeah.
But it gets you an idea. And so if a car is worth $3,000, let's say, and you have a $500 deductible, then I just say, okay, well, here you go. This is what your net amount will be. It's $2,500, let's say here. And it's costing you $300 a year. Is that worth it to you? And then that's where the conversation gets going.
Yeah, and what kind of deductible would that be? Like $500?
Yeah, I mean, I would not do a high deductible on
No, because that's the whole idea. They don't have the money. So, can you do a stated value on an older car because you keep it in exceptional shape?
Yeah, well, remember, stated value is not what you want. That's what tells you, hey, we'll pay you this or actual cash value, whichever is less. What you're looking for is agreed value, and there are some companies that will allow agreed value, but you usually need to have some kind of documentation, whether that be an appraisal or something that validates the value of that vehicle.
So an agreed value is different. Stated value says what?
Stated value is what you use whenever they don't have like a cost symbol or some way to appropriately rate a car, and so you state a value for it. You say, hey, this car is worth $20,000, and then you're paying insurance based off that $20,000, but the agreement actually says we will pay you $20,000 or actual cash value at the time of the loss, whichever is less.
Well, then that's a terrible thing to have.
Yeah, you don't ever want to do stated value.
Then why is there even such a coverage?
Well, because there are times on some vehicles that don't have a cost symbol that are just like, you're not your run-of-the-mill vehicles. They're vehicles that don't have an associated cost with them. Or let's say a motorhome. It doesn't have the same ability to be able to have a cost symbol where you have an appropriate rate for the value. So you ask, what did you pay for this car? What did you pay for this motorhome? And that's a stated value.
That's for premiums only.
You get. That's for premium only. It's to determine premium.
But then how at the end do you find out if something goes wrong with it then?
Well, because it's different than whenever you're, like on a rating program, it doesn't have the ability to do that. At the time of a loss, you would have an actual claim adjuster that would be doing research to figure this out. But they can't do that on the front end. So you use a stated value to figure out an estimated cost of what this would be right now. And at the time of the loss, they're going to have to evaluate what it really is.
Oh, my goodness. I could see where that could really sting you.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so an agreed value is where you would say, look, I take good care of this car. And your premiums are based on an agreed value, and would your damages be that agreed value then?
That's right. If you can get a company to do agreed value, and you usually see agreed value on a classic vehicle where you have an appraisal associated to it. You have like, hey, this is a 1968 Chevy Camaro or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's worth $30,000 or $50,000, whatever that figure is. You have an agreed value, and at the time of the loss, they'll pay the $50,000. That's what agreed value is. Okay.
It's exactly what you get at the end if it's totaled.
Right.
But I imagine that would be a higher premium.
Well, it's not always, because it's usually reserved for, like I said, classic cars that get very, very little mileage. It's not your everyday vehicle.
Okay.
It's harder to get that kind of endorsement on a 99 Toyota Corolla. You're just not going to find a company willing to do that unless you are able to say, hey, you know what, I have an appraisal, and then it goes through underwriting and that kind of thing. But it's really not. It's not what it's really used for.
Okay, so that answers my question then. But you will take a look on older vehicles. It's not automatic anymore. You say don't have collision, because again, if people don't have enough money to buy another vehicle, they're screwed.
Right. Yeah. The only time I would say absolutely not worth it is let's say the value of the car is so little that your deductible almost wipes it out, or you have a young driver or something, and the cost of collision and comprehensive is, $800 a year. Well, then and the car's worth $2,000. I'll say, I get it. It hurts if you lose it, but understand you're paying this much for collision and comprehensive for such a little value.
Right. Okay, Brian, I appreciate that. 303-713-TALK. By the way, if you ever need to get a hold of Compass and free insurance checkups, it's CompassInsuranceGroup.com, 303-996-9000. All right, Jerry has a question on Blinker. By the way, I believe he's talking about Blinker.com, that site that was selling cars, and I loved it. It's also an app for your computer, for your phone, smartphone. Jerry, is that what you're talking about?
I am. I've been trying to list a car on there since last week, and
they're just totally. I don't know what the hell. Listen, they had such a wonderful app, and it was great, and it provided a complete solution for selling your car, and it put you at equal terms with a dealer. In fact, your buyer could get financing, and it was great. The only thing the buyer couldn't do is trade it in. But also, it was safe because it allowed you to get the money wired, and all the signatures were electronic. But apparently, I don't know what's going on. They're changing their model. I don't know, and you can't list anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, and right now it just says we're around. There's a phone number listed, but I don't know what they're doing. I just don't know what they're doing. Now, if you look at their site, they're still up there, a fine mix of tech wizards, car lovers, and loan experts, but they haven't come out with what they're doing. In fact, Dav, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get them on for a minute if they're around, or schedule them for car day to figure out what the hell's going on with them. I mean, we get these inquiries all the time as to what is going on with Blinker. They did such a good job creating this thing. I'm wondering why. Yeah. What did you say?
So I have a car to sell that still has a small loan on it. What do you recommend as far as trying to sell that vehicle when you don't have the title in your hands yet?
How many miles?
No, I still have a loan on the vehicle.
Yeah.
The car's worth a lot more than the loan.
Good.
But
okay.
How do you sell a used car?
That's right. It's difficult. It's very difficult. You can do a consignment with a dealer. Some dealers will do a consignment. The other thing you can do is just, if you have the money to pay it off, you pay it off, or who holds the loan?
Security union.
I mean, is it a place you can go to? Is it a place with a local presence?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Sometimes
they have local.
Sometimes you can do a closing. You let them know, and they get the title here locally, wherever it's being held, and then you can actually have a closing at that place where you go, and you just present them the check from your proceeds. They go pay off the car, release the title, and give you the rest. Some places, some credit unions and banks will do that. If it's local, you can actually just do the closing right there.
So me and the buyer could go to that credit union and
yes, you can. Yeah, you have to call them and give them a heads up, because what they'll do is have the title shipped in. Because let's say the title is held in their main office. It might be held locally. Whatever it is, you go ahead and schedule that. And then when they say they have the title there, then you make an arrangement to go to one of their conference rooms and then have a closing, basically. You just basically get the money from the buyer, and then you hand it to them. They go and cut a check to you and bring the title back for the buyer. That's one way to do it with some financial institutions. The easiest way is to pay it off, get the title, and transfer it. We got to take a break. We got more coming right up.
Clear. You got about 30 seconds to your Mile High State.
Don't they do consignments? You know what? I don't know. I think they would. This is Vroom does it, but it sounds like they do.
Does it sound exactly like the other?
No, they do look like they do an instant cash offer. So they're probably going to take a little bit of extra out of that. I don't know why. They spent a lot of money on their software. Remember when he told us about that?
Sheridan Auto Tech is certainly a great business to do business with. He is an honest, experienced auto mechanic with a staff of people at 2 locations to help you. We call him Uncle Kevin, joking around, because he treats everyone like family. SheridanAutotech.com, just west of Wadsworth on Colfax, and just south of 6th Avenue on Havana. 303-455-7242. All car maintenance and repair issues they can handle. SheridanAutotech.com. Now, speaking of issues, one issue you should plan for is your estate and estate planning. You want to protect your legacy, what you've worked for. You don't want things squandered. And while you're alive, you don't want things taken in useless lawsuits or predators. That's why you should see Blake Harris, attorney at law. And what they can do is help you do an estate plan, whether it's a simple will or a will in combination with a trust or 2. You may need just a power of attorney or some beneficiaries' deeds. How about payable on death certificates? All of these can be worked in concert to give you a great plan. And it's not only for the rich. It's many times people middle to upper middle income really need the protection the most to protect their assets. Why don't you call him to find out more? He'd love to talk to you with a free consultation. 720-924-6171. 720-924-6171, or on the website at milehighestateplanning.com.
We know it's going to be good. There's going to come, and then people
Thank you.
to get their ACs up and working. But now,
So he has a billboard on 6th Avenue.
Who?
Mile High Estate.
Yeah.
You knew that?
He said he was doing them. I didn't know.
Yeah. It's a pretty big billboard.
He told me he was doing them, and he wanted a saying for them.
Oh, he's doing several. Okay.
I mean, that's what I thought he said. I'm doing billboards.
So, is there that much money in what he's doing and stuff? Because he's I know it. I know it.
Everywhere.
I know it. I mean, I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, but in that particular niche?
Yeah, because what's his name that we had before just didn't seem like, you know, it doesn't seem like it's a ton of money coming in, but maybe it's not litigating or things like that. You just got to know the rules, put it together, and do it. So, but like I say, he's got a billboard on 6th. I seen I was coming back, and I said, "Whoa, I know that guy."
Look at them. This thing. Now watch. They say this. Come on, it can't do that. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. How would that amplify it? Your pipe is your pipe.
Yeah, that's what I would think, unless there's something we don't know.
it's Brian with advanced mud jacking. If you're
That's almost misleading.
don't know what to do about your sinking
It probably is. Well, just remember all the misleading stuff out there.
and save money. Advanced mud jacking, 303.
Did you hear us talking about what was it? They had all the different stuff they used to sell in comic books. Remember the mermaids or?
Breathe out and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Your bird is eating my candles.
Yeah, I would say that's a scam.
No, seriously, he's making a mess. Seriously. Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
With thousands of locally owned Napa stores.
Did you watch season 3 of that?
Yeah.
Fruta? Did you?
Does it end?
Yeah. Are they going to have another season?
I don't think so.
Don't tell us.
Don't tell us the end, yeah. Let me tell you what. So they forced this doctor, Palestinian doctor, they captured an Israeli agent. They forced her to put in this. She didn't know what the device was. And they said what he did. They told him that they stole his kidney. And so he put in there. That was pretty good, wasn't it, Doc? But the only person they killed was him. They wanted to kill other people, but.
So I have a dentist appointment.
Is your dentist going to charge you a?
I don't know. It made the news, you know.
Corona app or Corona? These dentists, they do it all anyway. They wear masks all the time anyway.
Yeah. My dentist didn't charge you.
So it just must be certain ones that see. Hey,
when I did my root canal, they charged so much for the root canal. They didn't.
How long ago was it?
What?
How long ago?
Oh, about a month.
Okay.
I was here. I was working here when I had to do it.
I think they look at it. Hey, we can get another $20 out of that. I do. If that happens, I might change dentists. If what? If they're going to charge me.
I would do that too.
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, so do we have any follow-ups, guys? If not, we can move on. Larry, you want to talk about car service. Go ahead, Larry. Welcome to the show. What's happening?
Yeah, hi, Tom. This is actually Larry's daughter, Alina.
Okay.
But I'm looking for an Audi mechanic, preferably in the Walsh Park area, if you know of any.
Okay. Specifically Audi, again, you don't need specifically Audi. What you need is someone familiar with Audis who does a good job. We have great mechanics. Now, in the Walsh Park area, we don't have anyone specifically there. But Pro Auto Care comes to mind for foreign and domestic they can do. Also,
what was it? What was that called?
Pro Auto Care.
Pro.
And you can also call them and see. It's 303 Pro Auto. I believe they can handle that. Also, budget transmission and auto repair, even though it says transmission first, they do auto repair. And again, they're familiar with some foreign cars. But here's the great thing about these guys. They'll tell you straight up if they can do it or not. Are you looking on the referral list, Dano?
Just Audis, we don't have anybody.
But foreign car repair, though. We'd probably have some good. See, again, for foreign cars, if they know, they're usually going to have the knowledge you need to get it done. But let me find out specifically. We're looking at it right now, and we're looking at referralist.com for somebody honest. Pro Auto Care. Honest Act. Well, they're in Colorado Springs. See, that's the problem. We have so many people around. Let's see. I would say, as far as nope. Sheridan Autotech and Pro Auto Care. Yep. Sheridan has foreign car service, and I'm sure they can handle it. But Sheridan has two different locations. If you look at SheridanAutotech.com or 303proauto.com, and I can give you both of their numbers if you want it. 303 Pro Auto, that's easy. 303 Pro Auto. And Sheridan Autotech is 303-455-7242. So 303-455-7242. What kind of Audi do you have?
I have an A4, 2009 A4.
Have you heard their kind of maintenance? Audis are pretty intense when it comes to maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, historically, I know Audi's not the most fun to deal with when it comes to maintenance. This is going to be the first thing that I've had to deal with outside of just, routine service.
Are you having an issue right now?
Yeah, I mean, it completely...
What is the issue you're having right now? We'll call one of them. We'll call Sheridan. And what is the issue you're having?
Yeah, so I turned it on. It was fine. Turned the corner. My steering wheel completely locked.
Wow.
And then it kind of died on me.
Wait a minute. So that's why the steering wheel is locking, because your car is dying. I don't think the steering wheel doesn't lock first, does it?
No, I mean, I don't think so. That's what I've noticed first.
And then can you start it right back up again?
Yeah, so I put it in park, took the key out of the ignition, waited a couple minutes or probably 30 seconds or so, turned it back on, and it was fine.
Now, does it happen only when the car is warmed up a lot?
Does it happen only when the car is warmed up a lot?
Yeah, like if you start it up at the first part of the day and go around, will it quit while it's still relatively cold, or does it wait till you've been driving a while?
I mean, this is the first time anything like this has ever happened.
Did it only happen once, Ashley?
What's that?
Did it only happen once?
Yeah, it just happened today.
Okay, but is it running right now?
I parsed it. I haven't tried for a second time.
All I was thinking of is there's a school parking lot or something close by. You may want to just do.
For sure.
You may want to just drive and do some S-turns and just stop and go and see when it does occur. I mean, all of these things help. Now, that does have a computer on it, I believe they can read. What year did you say it was?
2009.
Yeah. Let's get Kevin on, and we'll ask him about it and see what he says.
Cool.
So you can wait and explain it to him, and then I'll try to explain what you've said, and we'll see what he thinks by his gut feeling, because that's really sounds simple, meaning it doesn't sound like you have those kinds of problems when it completely dies are probably more simple than when you have intermittent kind of sputtering or different kinds of issues like that, or especially transmission issues. You don't want that. To me, right off the bat, I'm thinking fuel or electrical, either one. But we'll see what he says. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Daphne, let's try to get Uncle Kevin Calkin on from Sheridan Auto Tech to address this, to see what he says.
With him right now.
Okay. And I'm Tom Martino. In New York, they're filling the streets in peaceful protest so far, and around the country again, they are expecting more and more people, and of course they're protesting the tragic death of George Floyd and how it happened under the knee of a police officer who was charged with murder. One thing I wanted to mention about it is that this kind of thing, obviously everyone says is disgusting and wrong, and I don't think anyone thinks that peaceful protesting is out of place. The thing is, though, I think police stations, or police in general, police organizations, I don't think they know how to react. Some people are saying that the police are the ones escalating the violence. Others are saying they're just trying to keep the peace. I would love to know how you feel about that. Not the issue and not, the whole thing, but just what do you think police should do? I mean, that's a big question being asked. We have more coming right up.
Clear. You got Joe Lazare and Simply Florida.
This is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino. Now, Dan Kaplis today at 4, 6:30 KHOW.
Yeah, Kevin don't know what's going on. I'll bet you it's a fuel pump thing. Maybe not.
Well, it's usually fuel. Now, it could be fuel or
because
air, but I don't think it is. It doesn't sound.
I'll bet you it's electrical now that I think of it, because fuel wouldn't do it that quickly.
And she mentioned going around a turn, right?
What? Yeah. Hey, when will you get called back after 2 o'clock?
Audie, what a terrible car to give a used car that old to a person. She's gonna have nothing but trouble.
Okay, I had an Audi A4. It was so fucking expensive.
They're terrible.
But you got rid of it. It's when they're this old, it's so bad. There's a lot of stuff that goes wrong with it.
I remember there was a little, like a thermocouple for the heated seats. It was $350.
Crazy. Yeah, that's why you don't go back to an Audi dealer to get it fixed on either. It's, my son wanted one. That's the best thing we never got.
The best thing I did, I had a buddy who owned a...
Joe Lazare is a criminal defense attorney, and I hope you never need him. But a DUI can turn your life upside down. Listen, don't panic. If you just got it, it's your first one, there are ways to deal with it. That doesn't mean it's a walk in the park or you should do it. You should always try to avoid them. And you can avoid them with the simple things, right? Uber, Lyft, taxis, or obviously you can just get a designated driver. But listen, Joe Lazare can help you through the system because it's very complicated. There's a motor vehicle violation and there's a crime. So it's both civil and it's criminal.
Again, Joe Lazzara can handle a DUI. He can also handle other things in life when it doesn't go perfectly. Assault, shoplifting, things like that. And people involved in demonstrations even. We have had all kinds of people call Joe for advice. 303-429-6200. There to serve you. 303-429-6200. Lazzara with 2 Z's and 1 R. LazzaraLegal.com. You know, I love recommending Buddy and Karen Mitchell, better known as SimplyFloorsInc.com. The Inc. is INC as a corporation. So you can look them up online and make your own appointment right at this website, SimplyFloorsInc.com. Their philosophy is very simple. They make the process easy. You make an appointment, pick the floor covering, then they have the best installers in the biz come out, and you do it at savings because they have lower overhead. You can save 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50%. SimplyFloorsInc.com.
I wasn't feeling great, so I searched my symptoms on Google, and now I'm being followed.
So my buddy owned Quality Mitsubishi.
I hate feeling my personal information is...
That was, I always felt sick going to him.
Yeah, Quality, I don't know which period of time you're talking about, but was a really sucky dealership at one time. The dealership.
Really?
At one, what's his name? I'm not saying he was, but there was a time, man, oh shit, they were terrible.
Did you?
I didn't know
And I'm hoping it wasn't his buddy.
may pay for transportation.
I haven't spoken to him for a while.
Did you?
I didn't know some Medicare Advantage plans may pay to have my prescriptions delivered directly to my home. Did you? These and more are...
I don't know how the hell I lose,
Medicare Advantage plans
I don't know how I lose covers for these things, Tupperware.
How long did you have your Audi?
Only about 2 years. Got it too expensive.
Yeah, but usually 2 years, wasn't everything covered?
Oh no, I bought it used.
Oh, this is when you were young and dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Young and dumb.
You want to be a poser.
Now I'm old
Those
and
are the
dumb.
only people that buy this shit.
Now I'm old and dumb.
You know what Tom calls a poser.
Yeah.
Henry, Henry's last name.
Those people that want these damn fucking Audis.
That's 800-988-2214.
Audis or BMWs?
Oh.
They're both...
So my son, I told him, when we sold the house, told him to give him X amount of money for that car. And we tried to talk him into buying a brand new car that had either 5 or 10 year warranty. He had his heart set on a used M3.
How old was it?
It was a cool car. It was so fucking expensive. And I said, Eric, you know, you had a chance to buy a brand new car. You would have no expenses for 5 years. I hope you learned a lesson.
I owned a Porsche at one time, and I found out very quick you pay for them twice.
Yep.
Twice.
It was, and I didn't buy it. I bought it because it was a good deal. It was used, but the guy didn't take care of it.
I forgot I had the dentist appointment.
The old dental appointment.
I'm going to the new one.
Is that lady?
Oh,
are you really? Oh, okay.
I went to the once, yeah.
It was Henry Block. That's who owned the dealership.
Oh, yeah.
When I knew him.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's not the one I'm talking about. It was a different foreign name.
But what he did with, his close friends, whatever car you wanted, he would buy you and just add $500 onto the price he paid.
All right, on in 30 seconds. Allow, give them 20% off our regular retail price. It'll be one of the best offers we've ever made. All right, Todd, consider it done. Kitchens, bathrooms, counters, floors. Need to replace your windows and doors? Have our word. We'll treat you right in time. Call soon, 303-722-2295 or 800-362-83.
All right, 10 seconds. Here we go. This is Dave Logan from the law offices of Dan Capitals, a serious law firm for serious cases.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, so listen, let's talk to Ashley about her Audi and ask Kevin. Kevin, do you work on Audis? Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech. Kevin,
yeah, we work on them all the time.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You do all kinds of foreign cars. So what is Audi unique for anything, good or bad?
Well, they are different. I mean, most Europeans are different than domestic cars. There's just a whole different level of performance and things. So, yeah, they're different.
She has an 09. I believe 2009. And Ashley, you say when you started up and you're driving a while, this only happened once. The car was relatively warmed up, right?
Yeah.
You went around a corner. Is that when it happened?
Yeah. So essentially what happened, I pulled up to the stop sign, was about to turn on to the main street, and car died, steering wheel locked. I turned it off.
Now, did it happen in the turn that it died and it locked?
Yeah, in the turn.
Okay. And were you accelerating at the time, or was your foot on the brake, or where was your foot?
No, I was accelerating.
You were accelerating around a turn. I don't know, Kevin, if a turn has anything to do with it. What first comes to mind? Now, then after you turned it off, you started it back up and took it home, right?
Right. So I looped it around. I looped it around the block a little bit just to see what happened, if anything, a little funky happened. And then just pulled back in, turned it off, and then that's
okay. So you didn't go out and drive a lot, but you did drive around a little after that, and it did not repeat itself, right?
Correct, yeah.
Would there be any kind of a code in there, Kev, that you can read?
It's very possible. Was the fuel full or almost empty?
So my gas light had just turned on, actually. I had about 20 miles left in the tank.
Yep. Yeah, it was probably just starving for fuel. It taking the turn, accelerating at the same time, the fuel might have sloshed.
It could be something that simple, where there is no real problem.
You don't want to run them till the light comes on.
Yeah, fuel sloshing around used to be more of a problem. They have baffling in some tanks that tries to prevent that, but it still momentarily can avoid the pickup tube or opening, right?
Yes.
And locking the steering wheel is just common because it's shut down, right?
Yeah, just no power steering. Yeah.
I would say, if I were you, Ashley, I'd have him go over it, though. But they're good people, Sheridan Auto Tech. As I said, they had 2 locations, and it's 303-455-7242. Thank you, Kevin. And another Kevin, a caller Kevin, wants to talk about a Ford truck. Go ahead. Kevin, what's happening?
Hey, gentlemen. Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. Maybe I ought to keep Kevin Calkin up because he knows a lot about maintenance of different trucks. Yeah, keep Kevin up if he's there. What is your question about a Ford truck?
Well, currently I have a 2017 Duramax 3500. It's the Midnight Edition.
Yeah.
Sticker price about $68,000, and I've had nothing but problems. 3 glow plugs. If Kevin's listening, 3 glow plugs. Both thermostats have went bad. EGR valve. Lights burned out on the dash. Both front calipers sticking to where they ruined the brakes.
Wow.
And I want to say, did I say 3 glow plugs as well?
Yes, but why now? Well, hold on. How many miles on this did you say?
Well, it was when everything started happening was just over 50,000.
Okay, and it all started within that time, all at once?
Well, it's been from 50 plus thousand miles, and I'm at 87 now. I also forgot to mention I had to put 2 new batteries in it within 2 years of buying it.
Sure.
And did you buy? You didn't buy it new, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I bought it brand new. Yeah.
And you had flawless trouble up till 50,000 miles? I mean, flawless performance?
Yes.
Kevin, what do you think is going on? You maintain it, right? Just regularly? You do all the scheduled maintenance?
Oh, absolutely. Oil, fuel filter, anything that's needed to be done was done.
The hard part is it's all over the truck. It's batteries, brakes, glow plugs. It's not one system. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's discouraging. I'd be tempted to trade it in too.
But it doesn't seem like one problem, and that's why I was asking. I mean, what I'm asking, Kevin, are these maintenance hogs, these Duramaxes? What have you heard about these Fords?
Typically not. I mean, you get little quirks here and there, but they're usually 200,000-mile trucks.
Wait, did you say is it a Ford or it's a Chevy?
No, it's a Chevy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, but you're thinking about getting rid of it and getting a Ford.
Yeah, I'll tell you what kind of confidence I have in this truck. I drive around with a auto code reader in my console. So a code appeared the other day. It's P133A, which is it. Chevrolet said it sounds like it's glow plugs again. Now, let's go back to 2007. I bought a brand new Duramax 2500. I put brakes on at 200,000 miles. And I had one issue with that truck, and it was a cable for the sliding rear window at 200,000 miles.
You know, I don't know what kind of ratings they get. Like I said, Kevin, what is your feedback on the Duramax?
I haven't seen it like this, where it's all over the place.
Yeah, I'm looking on the internet, and I'm not seeing a lot of complaints about this truck in general.
It's a solid.
I've never believed in this, but when people say, well, maybe you just got a bad unit, I don't know, but sometimes it's just like that. It just, all of a sudden, I don't know why.
Well, it sure seems like it, with all these different problems. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's my question to you guys is, I've sent a letter to GM, and I stated all the facts, all the invoices, etc.
For what reason?
They told me to go see Why did I send a letter?
Like, do you want them to do something? Did you ask them for something?
I wouldn't say I directly asked them something. I wanted to make them aware. They gave me a case number.
Yes.
And then they directed me to go to the Chevy dealership and talk with the customer experience manager, which I got absolutely zero out of yesterday at Stevenson Chevrolet, where I bought the vehicle and I bought my last Duramax. So my question to you guys is, where would you go buy a Ford F-250 diesel? Brand new.
Wow, that's a good question. That's a good question.
I would definitely shop it. I wouldn't go to one place.
Yeah, I don't know of any specific
Anywhere but Longmont.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Anywhere but Longmont. Don't ever go. Now, you know what? Have you ever considered maybe using a broker and don't bother going to, like if you go to Rodney over at JFR Cars, see, you don't really have to shop a dealer because you can take it to a dealer for service. And they'll love you and they'll welcome you with open arms, whether you bought it there or not. But I'm wondering if maybe you should try something different. Ford dealers in general, we don't have a lot of complaints about, but I can't pick just one, just one Ford dealer that stands out.
I Googled O'Mara.
No,
they only have 2 stars.
Listen, O'Mara was a solid name for a long time, okay? So was Silterhar. But they're all different now. They're not the same as they used to be. But if you want to know what there used to be, Silterhar was a great dealership. So was O'Mara at one time. They went back and forth. And then, who else was it? I'm trying to think.
We've had some complaints
Let's
about
see.
Freeway.
Yeah.
Harvey Ford?
I would say that not really, but they're not. We haven't had a lot of complaints about them, to be fair. But I'm trying to get a list of these to let you know the ones. This is another one. Phil Long used to be a really good dealer too. Here's the deal, though. I have to tell you the truth. We don't get a lot of complaints about Ford dealers. Okay, we don't. So to be honest with you, I can't say any of them are bad because I'm looking at my recent complaint history and we do not get a lot of problems with Ford dealers. Okay? Why? I don't know. And basically Chevy too. Chevy and Ford seem to be pretty solid. Right now, have you ever considered, and I'm not saying, by the way, that Ford is not a good truck. Have you ever considered maybe another model Chevy or maybe seeing what they can do for you on this? Or are you just too afraid of it?
Oh, I'm scared to death in this truck. I mean, I went to
Got a break soon.
on Sunday morning, and I pulled up on an exit, and my brother was with me, and I go, "What's that smoking?" And he got out and said, "It's your front right brakes."
That just doesn't, it just doesn't hold true for what we're hearing about these.
Yeah.
In any case,
GM. Obviously, I'm one of a billion fish out there, and they don't care. So I'm going to make it a point, at least to myself, that I'm not going to go shop for a GM product.
No, I don't blame you. If that's the way you feel, I don't blame you. You may want to look at I shudder to say this because all my purists are going to be pissed at me, a Toyota Tundra.
Well, here's the reason why I need a diesel.
Got a break, so.
Okay.
1,000-pound camper that goes in the back of my truck.
Okay. All right.
And I pull a trailer behind that with a Polaris Ranger on it.
Yeah. Well, then I would say again, you're not going to go wrong, I don't think, with Phil Long. We have had not any complaints about them in recent history. Okay? I mean, I'm not saying they're the only ones, but we haven't had a lot of problems.
All right, you have Art of Granite coming up in about 50 seconds. It's sponsored by InvisibleFence.com.
An accident on eastbound 270 approaching Vasquez has the right.
It's hard to.
Have you had any complaints about Mike Norton?
Oh, it used to be terrible, but you know what? Not recently. So, you know what? Really, we have not had a lot of Ford problems.
No. Like I said, as long as they stay at a Longmont, they're in good shape.
And those are more a lot of used in Longmont.
You know, it's good that we haven't had a lot of crap to worry about with Ford. I wish Champ had one. Let me see. Is there a Champ Ford? Probably not.
That's expensive.
With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
This July is National Lost Pet Prevention.
But JFR would do the dealings with them. He would find the...
$50 off their exclusive Boundary Plus technology. So more pets can safely enjoy.
God, that's an expensive vehicle to have those kind of issues. Well, I think it's an $80,000 vehicle. What?
TheArtOfGranite.com. That's the website where you can start and look at all that stuff he's got there. A direct stone importer. That means you can get your stone, whether it's granite or quartz or any other natural stone, you can get it for wholesale. That's his promise to you. Wholesale on all materials. He only charges an upcharge for your fabrication and installation depending on what you have done. So if you give him a call on the phone, he'll give you a price on the phone. 303-386-5919. Someone I know and trust. The Front Range and all the mountain communities. 303-386-5919. TheArtOfGranite.com.
When you start looking at debt, it can be a little bit at a time, but it can quietly build up. And the high interest rates tied to some of your credit cards or personal loans can cost you a lot of money. But it doesn't have to be this way. Hey guys, it's Ross Kaminsky, and if you're a homeowner, you can refinance any high interest debt into your mortgage at a much lower rate, creating up to maybe $1,000 a month in monthly savings, maybe more. It just takes a 10-minute call to American Financing to get started. You'll work with a dedicated mortgage consultant, someone who will customize a loan program to achieve your financial goals. There's no pressure, no upfront or hidden fees, and you don't have to start your loan term over. Instead, you can choose any term you need, which can mean tens of thousands of dollars in long-term interest savings. You might even be able to postpone 2 mortgage payments. So call 303-695-7000 to learn more. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
An energy-efficient home pays off in both hot and cold weather. And now Rocky Mountain Retrofoam is offering low-cost home energy audits for just $175 at your Excel. You'll get a complete audit, including blower door test and thermal imaging showing hot and cold spots. Retrofoam will pinpoint wasteful areas with scientific accuracy and present you with do-it-yourself tips and other options that are straight out.
I'll try calling Blinker up and just ask him what's going on.
God dang it.
I really like them.
I have such pain right now, gas. Oh my God.
That Burger did it?
Oh no, I just summed all the I don't want to mention it online, gas from Coke.
Oh.
I don't want to mention it because Stephanie will be all over me on it.
I burp Coke. I don't but I don't drink very much Coke. I like those little 8 ounces. God, I like.
That's enough.
Well, that's enough for me. But I mean, I only have like maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. But they're just the right. Otherwise it gets too much. I don't know how. When I used to drive, long hours and I used to get the great big.
The big slushies.
I would get, that would tear me up. The sugar and
Video chat tool, so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com.
Do you have any follow-ups?
Just one of the reasons why
No, I got to call that lady at 2:30.
Services subject to screen terms, Lowe's loyalty membership required, more terms apply. Facebook.
I'm still waiting for you to talk to Brad about Church Ranch.
Even asking Twitter to ban President Trump. Each weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern, Sean Spicer tackles the new censorship and its dangers. Watch Sean Spicer's new show on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel. Newsmax TV is on DirecTV, Xfinity, Dish, Spectrum, Cox, Optimum, Fios, Uverse, Suddenlink, Mediacom, Armstrong, and more. Check it back in 30 seconds. Newsmax TV now.
Metro Construction is offering virtual and touch-free residential and commercial roofing, solar, and siding quotes. Proudly serving Colorado for more than 13 years. Call Blitz, no interest, no payments, financing available. Schedule your roofing, solar, siding quote by visiting metrobuilds.com. Metrobuilds.com. That's metrobuilds.com.
Tell your smart device to play 16 seconds radio. Then you can hear KHOW while you're working from home.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station. Available on over 2,000 devices.
Troubleshooter. There's a scam going on right now with people calling. Now, it's not a new scam. It's one that's been around a while. But it comes and goes like the wind. This one has to do with Xcel Energy. And there's the number, Daff, or Ants. If you want to call that number, I will answer, I'll talk to them. I'd like to call them. It's a scam number, and what they're doing is they're telling people that their power will be shut off and you have to pay immediately. Now, there are people that have balances, so there's a good chance they catch somebody with a balance. So if you call that number, let it ring, I'll pick it, then give it over to me right away if you can. And let's try to squeeze this in before the end of the show. It's an Xcel. We hear a lot of
I got you. I'm potting them up.
Potting them up. Pot them up. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
It's busy right now.
Oh, dang. Okay. I was going to try to scam a scammer. But what they say is that you've been, they leave a message saying your power's going to be turned off. Listen, Xcel Energy never calls you like that, ever. So beware of that. And let me just give you the number. So if you recognize the number, you'll know not to call. It's 1-800-670-4132. Deputy Doc, what were you going to say about it?
If anybody calls you from any company...
Let me turn your mic on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If anybody calls you from any company and they want to be paid in gift cards, hang up and run away.
That's an automatic...
There's no company in the world that wants you to pay in gift cards. So we do the check, debit card, or credit card. If somebody says, send me a gift card, you hang up and never talk to them again.
That's a very good point. Again, that's one of the scams going on. And remember, they sound pretty convincing, but don't ever give them any information either. They usually only have enough to be dangerous when it comes to that stuff. So be careful of that. And then the other one is... there are people who say there's a landscaper out there ripping people off. Daft, did you get that number? I don't know. It might be too late to get him on, but we'll try tomorrow. On Nextdoor, he's a landscaper. A lot of people are getting ripped off with Nextdoor. Luckily, Nextdoor, is also a good place to report bad people. But this landscaper is taking a lot of money up front and not doing the work. And what we're going to do is get a hold of the name of them. But here's what you can do to protect yourself in general. Do not, just simply, do not pay money up front to a landscaper at all. You can pay for materials to be delivered. You can pay when work begins. There is no reason to just give them money. In fact, if they say they have to pay for supplies, tell them to have them delivered and you'll pay for them. It's amazing to me how many excuses people have for upfront stuff. Anyway, this is the Troubleshooter Show. We'll be back here tomorrow at 10. I urge you to go to referralist.com for help, information, and referrals. And please, if you have any issues, 24/7, call 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. That's 303-MARTINO. Or you can write to us, help@troubleshooter.com.
Thanks, guys.